to record. I need a backdrop, of course. It should stay in front, though. I also changed the audio for the notifications in Streamlabs, like Nick suggested. It's a good idea, actually. In theory, it should sound different when I get a new follower. I didn't have even that function originally. But let me go fast. Creator Studio, yes, this is the one. Minimize. Go to the usual place. Who's playing? Who's playing? In theory, Nate is playing. I haven't played with him in a while. Okay, I'll keep this minimized. And should scroll toward the top a bit, yeah, so I can see everything. And maybe also make the chat area bigger, like this. And it's done, essentially, yeah. It doesn't support VR. That's what they tend to believe, if you can believe it. I don't know about the VSync. I'll keep it off, honestly. Yeah, unfortunately, the game has developed, once again, the old problem that I always had with the micro stuttering from time to time. Yesterday I was calling them freezes, but actually I know that very well. It used to happen both with VR and without. It's something that you can find on the game's technical forums. There are like dozens of people complaining in the last 5-7 years. It's a well-known problem, and apparently no one ever found the solution. I used to have it. It was worse, like really annoying, more than 5 times per match. Now it's less, but it's come back. I don't know honestly what to do. I remember it going away by itself. It had appeared after an update, maybe of the game, maybe of the NVIDIA drivers, not sure. Unfortunately it's back. Yesterday it wasn't so bad, but then when I played arcade mode in the evening, it did it again. And I hope today it won't be as bad, honestly, but there's very little I can do. I tried every possible combination of driver configs, VSync on, VSync off, pre-render frames. But pre-render frames is really for VR. It does it even without VR, so it's not that. You couldn't give me the good booster, huh? Okay, so since I played arcade mode, like I said, I load the right control presets. The new ones, of course. Yes. Close. I love the new Swedish music for the menu. Yeah, Swedish. I intended to play this because I've got finally to the interesting part. Yesterday, this proved pretty effective, actually. It's a bit of a turn fighter. Not as good as the Reggiani, of course, it's also low rated. But it's got potential. And also I played, but only in arcade mode, with this other one, which is more like a Focke-Wulf, and I'm about to breach into rank 3 actually, very close to it. Afterward we're gonna have the very interesting looking thing with the twin tail and the pusher design, which I guess will be enjoyable to fight. I don't know, I like the looks of it at the very least. I'm not so far. I hope I can find an open match, because yes, the idea is to play Swedish, but of course it's never sure that you can, and actually yes, there is one. Fairly populated as well. After all, it's the big new thing, no? Everyone will want to try the Swedish. Against China or Russia? Was it China or Russia? I don't know. In China, in any case. And yeah, if it's Russia, it's bad, because the Swedish pipeline have very bad synergy, like we discovered yesterday with Nix, against the Russian I-15. And basically, it destroys them. It's both faster and turns better. So, to begin with, we cannot spawn the monoplanes yet. I gotta go with the J11, I guess. Or the Jacobi's J8A, but that's not the best plane, to tell you the truth. I would go with this one. It's also one that you have to unlock by moving down the tech tree, so in theory more advanced, no? Now, please, bear with me. I'll be flying a biplane, but not for long. Once we have the spawn points, we're moving to a monoplane. I know that in general, for streamers, biplanes aren't that popular, but biplane gameplay can be engaging. Yesterday we actually had a lot of fun together with the others, and the others might come during the morning for what I know. I certainly hope they do. In the meantime, we're taking off. Unfortunately, visibility is a bit bad, to use an euphemism, but I think I have some lag. No, 122 ping, 0% packet loss. It should be good, even though I don't know, it moves erratically. It's not a problem of the game, no, because the movement of the controls is fluid. It's like the server is having a bit of a hiccup. I hope it doesn't last too long. No, but this is wrong. Look at this, I'm not touching the control. It moves like in increments. I guess there's some connection problem. It's strange because the ping is 125 and packet loss at 0. What the heck is this? This is completely wrong. To tell you the truth, I will switch server. This will never work. Unless I'm already on top of the enemies. Is it flashing? No. But this is not working. I don't think I'll even be able to land, to tell you the truth. Damn. Unplayable. No, I gotta land. Well, it's not that important, it's just a bye-bye, won't cost much, but I will still land. And I guess we're going to test the game outside of any server to see if that's the problem. If that is indeed the problem, that the server is behaving badly, we're gonna have to play a different nation for the time being. We'll see, huh? We'll see. Ah, man, what the hell? Every day a new problem. Look at this. It's terrible. That's what it is. I'm not sure I will be able to land with this vibration or whatever the hell it is. No, luckily I managed. Okay. The stick of the plane doesn't move, so it's not a problem of my controls. Otherwise the stick would move as well. Okay. Stop this thing and we try again. Perfect. Perfect landing. It's not easy to land the vibrants, huh? Okay. I don't really care. Let's just... They're very front heavy, that's the thing with these planes. But also I was having some strange jerkiness. So I'll do the test with the same plane actually to understand if that was a problem on the server. Let me do the test flight. Where is it? Okay, test flight. Hi Ludwig, hey, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, since I'm having some technical problem, I hope we can solve it easily. Let me see. If it depended from the server, okay, no big problem. Test flight, so we don't have a ping problem. This is actually locally generated. Let's see what happens. No, everything normal. Already I can see it doesn't have that jerkiness. So it was the actual match. I don't know, because the ping and packet loss were excellent. Well, not really excellent, but good enough. No, now it flies normally. Okay then, we gotta find a different match. It's a shame really, because I wanted to play Swedish and they were the only option. It was the only match where you could do it. Let's see, we might switch later to the Swedish if really there is no other way. Let's see what we can do. No, wait. This has just started in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is a cool map. We was playing it yesterday and both me and my friends thought it looked very, very good. It's got that mist effect, no? Like the low-hanging clouds in between the mountains. It's really cool looking. So not a bad way to play. Unfortunately now we lost the spawn points. I gotta go with the J6B. That's the most annoying thing ever, because it's absolutely not my fault, but unfortunately it comes from the nature of the online game. Since I lost focus on the window. Okay, spawn this Byron. It's the reserve one. I mean, it's fairly maneuverable. It's very light. It climbs like crazy. It can do well in battle. The only problem is if I find... Unfortunately, we are against Russia. Well, okay, we'll see, I guess. There's already some planes up. These also tents. They're all front heavy. So when you take off, you gotta pull the stick a bit. Otherwise, you risk overturning. Now, my intention is to spawn the J20 as soon as possible. It's a fairly interesting plane. I liked it yesterday. The one with the big radiator that opens like... Dumbo ears. I was spawned in a different place from the one I selected, because the game hates me today, it seems. But it's not necessarily that big of a problem. We'll be able to join the action soon enough. I also see some planes in front of my way. You see how cool it looks, these maps. It's really... It comes from a different age of the game, I guess. It was more recently made. The geometry of the mountains is pretty decent, really. And the clouds effect is somehow better than the norm for this game. Okay, let's begin the trek to the front line. At least we have spawned a slightly better Bible, but I guess the game doesn't want us to have fun. I'm so close. I'm this close to getting to the better tier. If I can get some kills in this match, I will just switch to an higher tier that we play while the mission completes, from a different nation or whatever I can find, and then we will have the Swedish planes for the rest of the stream. I wanted to go, honestly, I think the two better planes that I got at rank 2 are actually viable at rank 3. Unfortunately, you need to unlock every single one of them before you can move to rank 3, and I'm very close, very close. We mostly have bots for the time being, but the match just started. It might improve. People will want to fly the Swedish, I bet. And for now, no freeze. I'm actually having rather excellent performance. Let's hope it lasts. Is that an enemy bomber? It is a bomber. If only I could zoom. Maybe one day they will understand that VR players need that zoom too. I mean, it would be like having a binocular on the plane. Why wouldn't the real pilot bring it? It's the most useful thing to have in air combat. It doesn't take that much space. Well, that's some big plane. What the heck is it? Wait a minute, I'll approach with care, because if it's a bomber, yeah. To come from it, to come for it from behind is not the best approach. Seems to be heading the other way, though. Strangely. I say strangely because he's slower than me. He must be a bot, probably friendly with bot bomber. I feel never too sure. Accelerate, accelerate. I'm going 250. This is not the fastest Byron. Yesterday when we played with the German ones, they seemed faster than it. But at least, like I said, it's very light. You can climb like nothing. Like most Byrons, but even better. Morihiko, yeah, friendly bomber. These are probably just base defense. I was spawned so far from the freaking front line. That's a B3C. We only have Sweden on our part, yeah. So it's one of the early Swedish bombers. I'm not sure which. The early ones are not bad. Like, I mostly played this nation in arcade mode still. I haven't tried much the simulation aspect of it. But this... no, it's not the small one, it's the big one. Then I haven't tested. The small one is pretty good for the early arcade battles. Ah, we have an air objective, good. This is twin tail. It looks a bit like a PA2. Let me see. Or a 110. I haven't tried it. It's still a medium-sized bomber. Not really so big. Twin engine? Or 3 engine? Not sure, actually. I don't know much about these planes, but most people don't. It's not like they were used in any actual conflict. James was telling us yesterday, for instance, that the biggest contribution to World War II from Sweden in terms of aviation was just the bomb sight that they produce. Yeah, I think that was a freeze. I will be having them today as well, but not so often. The only problem is when it happens while you're aiming for the enemy. That's annoying. That's annoying to experience. How the heck did it really have to spawn me all so far from the action? Cover the surveillance aircraft in G3. Okay, this doesn't concern us too much. It's a very cloudy, overcast scenario. These are base defenders. Are they aiming for something? There's another couple behind, very far from the other base. No, they're just doing the patrol route. Let me raise the resolution. After all, there's no reason not to. For this game, I'm even 78%. You can easily go. And maybe even 90 hours. Today is running so well, I guess. Return to the game. Yeah, I don't know if you see the difference, but it's a bit better for me. Of course, the overhead is not as vast, so if we find ourselves in the middle of a big battle, I might have to lower it. And yeah, we gotta do the track to the objective, unfortunately. I have to be spawned on the other side. Wow. This is not just overcast, it's completely covered. I mean, it's part of the experience. It's part of the experience. Each square should be 10 kilometers, so that makes us about 20 kilometers from the objective. And that isolated contact there might be something of value. By the heading of him, I would say friend, but you never know. So let's increase speed and go in an interception route. Did I lose him? No, this is not Sturmovik. You don't lose targets once you see them. My god, is it difficult to spot in that guy. Solitary target. Couple of base defenders, yes, because that's the direction of the friendly base. I didn't know really that there were so many mountains. I don't know which part of Afghanistan this is, no. The geography name are completely obscure to me. But this looks almost like Tibet. I mean, it's a very relevant series of mountains. And some of the tallest peaks must be pretty high. This is my phone bothering me already. Not that we're having exactly completely overrun by enemies yet, so I can maybe take a peek of it. Nothing too important. This thing is completely off trim. Look at that. I might trim it a bit. Okay. 10 kilometers now from the objective square. James! Hey, thank you. It's a huge mountain range, I can see it. The border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So actually I wasn't so off the mark when I said Tibet. I mean, it's on the other side. Hey James, you playing? I'm doing the Swedish, but we may change to your Italians if you want. Okay, contact in front. Damn, to be so close to rank 3 and yet have to fly the biplanes again. There was an operation, it would have been excellent. They captured the zone, okay. Well, at least we know there are enemies now. That's anti-air. Friendly. That's a friendly anti-air according to the map. So we'll be shooting something of value. That is close. That's something coming my direction, hiding in the clouds. I don't know if he got visual on me. Being in the clouds, both things are possible. The anti-air was shooting at nothing, seemingly. Imagine such a flight in real life. Wow. Okay. That's the closest one because I hear the engine. Unless there's another one. To tell you the truth, it's not easy to find out. What the fuck is he telling me? Yeah, I'm having the freeze. You see, that was another freeze. Not so frequent, but they're there. Okay, that's combat, I think. 3 contacts so close by. And the engine seems to come from there. Must be something inside the clouds. Since we finally found some action. The sound comes from below the mountain, I think. It's hard to tell because you don't have elevation modeled in the game. Even though you can, in theory, move your head sideways in VR. That's not modeled in the game. So the sound always has only a 2-dimensional position in relation to you. It's unfortunate, but games are still not at that point. Not even VR games simulate sound elevation. I mean, games made purposefully for VR. I put it a bit too tight. Yeah, let's untighten it. And they're not the same size. The one in the middle is bigger. Let's see. That looks like a bomber, actually. Either that or a hefty biplane that maybe the game graphic model makes seem bigger. Okay, we're there, judging by the speed at which it moves. Hey, thank you for liking the stream. Excuse me, but I cannot look at your name right now. I will as soon as I can, and thank you by name. Unfortunately, VR limits me in that respect. Okay. No enemy base close by. That's the J-22A, what I wish to fly. The sorta like... it's very similar to a Focke-Wulf. It's a nice plane. I was expecting to fly it. I will be flying, I guess, in some time during the stream. That is certainly a monoplane that I cannot follow. And the biplane is more interesting. Let's try to help that guy. He's putting himself into alignment to boom and zoom me. So that's just a bot in any case. I should hurry and get this guy because the other one is certainly coming for me. Yes. Okay, what's this strange change of lighting? It scared me. I hit him. And where's the other guy? He's not behind me, so alright. Let's go for this biplane. Come on, I hate the iron sight. So damn hard to use in VR. In VR you can easily tell the great advantage that the reflex sight actually was at the time. Was an invention that changed everything probably for the pilots. It takes some time to kill a biplane. With another biplane, of course. Yeah, you wish to climb. You won't outclimb my thing. It's very, very light, like I said. Yes. Ah, the other guy has missed me because now he's below me. Come on! This is going to die eventually. The engine is on its last leg, but I want to make sure. What the hell? Am I shooting ping pong balls? Okay, and he's down. What about the other guy? I still hear engines all around. Okay, that's the friendly J-22. That's the friendly, I think. I gotta switch back to 8 years in any case. He was very ambitious to go 90 years. The resolution increase probably is doable. Okay, one of these is the enemy. Boom and zooming me. Yeah. Let's try to bring him into a turn fight because it's the only way I can actually compete. If we're going for speed, I have a biplane. No way. Okay. He's coming back. I have the help of a friend in any case. Ah, let's ask for help. Even though I'm afraid he might be just an AI. And tell you what, I'll be doing the smoke because it might scare him. When you see the smoke, you suspect a trap. And he doesn't know that the other guy is not a player. But I mean, he doesn't seem to be even putting himself into alignment. Okay. I'll be keeping the smoke on. I want to see how he reacts. Let's see. Of course the bot doesn't care for the smoke, but maybe someone else might. And he's not that good. Look at what he's doing. No need to use any of underhand tactic. I'll just keep under him. He's going to miss me eventually. And also we're going the direction of the objective now. I cannot follow him in any case. If he really goes away, it seems crazy, but he might at this point. Maybe it's not even a player. Now he's fighting with Yoshikazu. He knows he's the bigger threat. He doesn't know that it's a bot. And of course missed, but he missed as well. Let's see if he comes for me. Hey, hello. Giants, hi. You coming to do some battle in Afghanistan? Can you hear me? I guess not. Here he comes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, perfect. I was asking if you were coming to the skies of Afghanistan to fight against the Russians.
Yeah, in a second.
Okay, nice. This is excellent news. I should be able to breach into tier 3 with the Swedish pretty soon, so we can perhaps do a Italy plus Swedish battle. Rank 3. No, 2. It will be rank 2. I'm not sure. I don't remember the numbers of the ranks. Well, in any case, 2.3. This guy is very intent on boom and zooming me right now. And doing a series of passes. but not well thought of because it keeps missing.
So I finished painting the two knobs that I
Ah,
painted. I bought some spray paint. I bought like primer and then gloss paint and then like clear coat.
you gotta show
Um,
me a photo. Have you posted a photo on Discord? I want to see it.
Not yet. No. Let me see if I can. They're drying out right now, but let me just post
Ah,
them.
so you cannot play with it. Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't play with them yet, but they're
But you're gonna need them for. You're not gonna need them for this game, so it's alright. In any case, I
no.
was thinking yesterday, just by flying that plane with the big radiator, that having manual engine control in this game could be an advantage. It could be because everyone would expect a certain performance range of the planes because no one uses manual uh, engine management, and if you were the only player to use it in a match, you could surprise people.
Yeah, if you check out Beagle Point Discord.
Ah,
Uh,
you posted it. Okay, wait a sec, because I've been in combat for the last 5 minutes with a guy that apparently keeps missing me, but unfortunately it's a monoplane, I think a lag, so I cannot catch him. We've been doing the turnaround for 5 minutes. In practice, it's a bit funny looking. I guess in the end he will make a mistake. Or perhaps he will cease making mistakes and kill me, but we'll see. Cannot do much. I've been calling for help, but there are just not enough players. Ah, never mind. Someone is attacking the guy.
Pancakes.
Hey, hello, who is it?
I am nuggets.
Ah, Nuggets, hi. Ah, we haven't played in a while. Welcome. I was thinking of you yesterday, looking at Thunder Skill. I saw your name. Do you want to play with us? We're doing the Swedish today, or maybe something else, depending.
I wish I could, but it's 2 a.m. here.
Ah, no, okay.
sucks.
The time zones don't help, indeed.
Are you gonna be playing later?
Yes, but potentially we're going to play Sturmovik, I think, in about more than 5 hours. It will be in the afternoon for me, and possibly early morning for you, but it will be EL2 Sturmovik. I don't know if you played that game.
I mean, I should be able to play.
You play it? Ah,
in-
really?
In like 8 hours.
In 8 hours? That will be probably the afternoon time that we will be playing Sturmovik, yes.
And I don't have Sturmovik.
Ah, no, you don't. Of course,
DCS though.
DCS is giving me trouble these days. Really, you play it? What modules do you have?
Not much.
I used to enjoy it a lot, but lately it's been giving me a lot of problems, and unfortunately, in VR it doesn't run in practice, so for me it will be a bit difficult. I could play War Thunder in afternoon. We were thinking about doing War Thunder in afternoon. Besides that, no, James, because you can play in the morning and prefer to play Sturmovik with me.
Yeah, on weekdays, yeah.
So possibly yes. Beginning of the week I'll be playing this in the afternoon. That will be your early morning. Ah, no, the guy that I was fighting despawned. Okay, this is very anticlimactic. I've been fighting him for 10 minutes now, and he just despawned, and I'm also low on ammo, and I gotta go resupply at this point. Let me point the plane
VR
towards
are you
the
playing?
base. We're playing tier 1, basically, because we're gonna unlock the first Swedish planes right now. I unlocked
Okay.
some. Okay,
If you
I'm looking at Discord. Wait, I'll invite you first, and then look at this.
check out Discord first.
You have the Pyromansky? Ah, no, I don't. I haven't bought it. Well, okay, I'm inviting you first and then checking Discord. I mean, as long as I do both, I can do in either order.
Yeah, whatever.
And let me see Discord. Let me check your new amazing addition to the setup. Ah, they're the same color of the BF ones in practice, no?
Yeah, these are modeled after a 109's throttle and like yeah, basically it's modeled after a 109's throttle and I think flap and mixture controls.
Ah, even though you're probably using them for engine control or not. Do you
Yeah,
use them?
The 109 has automatic engine control, but I think it has levers in case you need to set it manually. You see what I mean?
Hey, Soren, thank you for liking the stream. I see what you mean. Yeah, it's an interesting solution. I'm gonna look into it. Of course, I wouldn't be able to access a 3D printer, but I won't even have the throttle quadrant very soon right now because if you can believe it, Amazon has completely stopped deliveries in Italy for unless it's an important things in practice.
You know, I looked at the 3D printer that Work has.
Ooh, installing.
like an Ender 3, and it's only like 170 euros. So I might well buy a 3D printer because
Well, nowadays it's a fairly useful piece of kit to have at
well,
home.
they've got a lot cheaper. Like it used to be that the printer would be like 1,000 euros, but now they've come down to
No,
like
I know. I
under
know. It's
200.
an interesting thing. Ah, by the way, Nuggets, nice plane. You got a custom decal on it with the
Nice
teeth.
job.
That's pretty cool. The Piromensky Kart flies it all the time. I think it's a very good plane. Unfortunately, I haven't bought it. Aaron, thank you for liking the stream. I'm trying to go and resupply now because I'm low on ammo after fighting for 10 minutes a stupid plane that despawned when I was about to kill it. That's the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
But at least
But
by returning to base I should have the spawn points to go with something better. Possibly even the J20,
Cool.
the monoplane.
But yeah, what you would find, like, what the problem is with the printer that work have is that it can't
Uh-huh.
print big. Like what you get for more money is you can print bigger objects. If you see what I mean.
I do. I've seen the people that use the 3D printer to great advantage in many aspects of entertainment. For video gamers,
Yeah.
it's a big asset, especially
I
if you
think-
like sims.
I think that if you want to print something big, you can just split it into multiple objects and like make a join where you
Thank you,
glue it together.
Rodrigo.
But it's not going to be as strong as if it was one object. If you see what I
No, of course, I can see the point. Yeah, it's like printing two pieces of paper, then maybe scotch taping them together. It's never going to be like the real
But
thing.
they take ages. Like I printed these two, and I printed another one which isn't in that picture.
How long did it
And
take?
In all, like just over 30 hours.
Wow, for these three
So-
little things.
Yeah, long time.
And that's even not the kind of printer you would have at home, I guess, if you have it at work. It must
Yeah.
be.
It's the same kind of thing that you could buy.
Oh no,
from-
it's the same. No.
Yeah, they only print little things with it for work. So
VR gamers do all sorts of things with 3D printers. They customize
Yeah.
the controllers. They create things to hold the cable in certain ways. It's actually,
Yeah.
like I said, a great asset. But for a certain type of gamer, certainly not
I mean,
the one that
the kind of
just.
thing that I'd like to buy, but I know that you'd print a few things and you'd leave it alone for like months at a time because you don't need to print things all the time.
No, of
Okay.
course. But when it comes useful, it becomes very useful indeed.
Yeah.
And with the times we are living, it might become even more useful because I was thinking about it the other day, no? If something breaks these days, how are you gonna get it fixed in Italy? I mean, it came suddenly to my mind, no? I was walking along the road with the face mask, of course, and the face mask, if you put it on the nose, actually makes your glass sit in a very unstable manner, and my glass fell on the ground and they got a little scratch in the exact center of the lens. It's not that annoying, but it's there. And they thought, what if I really had broken the glass? We will fix them right on that. It's completely closed. Any shop. Imagine the stupidest thing, no? Like you have a toothache, like you gotta go to the dentist. No, dentist is open. It's the most scary things when you think, the little things that you can no longer do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the banks are not accessible. I still haven't cashed in that check. And I was reading an article that even if you put the check inside the ATM, it's not a given that they're actually going to give you the money because a person would have to actually come to the machine and cash in the check. Case in point, they won't at the time being. Like most major banks in Italy are closed and will be for the foreseeable future. I don't know for how long. That's how bad it is.
but your bank is still open, right? Like it's still operating right now.
No, absolutely. I would have to go to another. 70% of all the banks for my company, the bank chain that I go to, I don't know what is the term. Well, they're all closed. Only one in my city closed to my location, like
Okay,
it is
the
open.
bank is still running, but the branches are not open.
The branches, yeah, exactly.
okay.
Only certain are, and even then it's a lucky thing because, like I did the other day, sometimes they just don't open. And you have this crazy
Yeah.
situation that looks like outside of a movie with people that clamor for entrance, but they don't let them in. That was a bit scary. The supermarket is not that scary yet. But of course the bank thinks, because it's strange, no? It's like the bank is not considered essential. The supermarket and where they sell medicines, what's the name? The pharmacy, they're considered that. But it's not like if you don't have money, the supermarket is useless. So the bank should be essential as well. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I was thinking just the other day, like, I wouldn't want to end up in hospital at this time because
Same. I thought
the
that.
hospitals are full of sick people, and like if you're sick, you're weak. That means you could get infected because
That's absolutely true. Especially here in Italy, they're putting them everywhere. It's not like in China where
Yeah.
they have hospitals for the whoever contracted the virus. They're together with other
and you know if
sick people.
sitting there for a few days or a week or something, or say if you've had an operation, you're weak. You know, say if you had an operation that was nothing to do with
Absolutely, and that's
coronavirus.
one of the main reasons young people have to quarantine too, no? Because they say, I don't care, the virus is not going to kill me, but you might still get injured or something else. You may die from something stupid just because the hospitals are so overloaded.
Well, I mean, I read that in Spain they're stopping people from cycling. Like you can't cycle around. Even like a lot of cyclists were saying, well, I go out in the middle of nowhere. There's no one
Yes,
around.
yes, that's the
why am
thing.
I banned? But
The
like,
joggers, we have plenty, the runners, yes,
if
yes.
they have an accident, if they fall off their bike and break their leg or something, then you know they're gonna.
You're going to be a burden on a system that is
Yeah.
already overloaded. Absolutely.
It's already overloading it. I mean, I know that you want to have exercise and stay healthy, but you know, if it's not necessary,
But you
then-
can have, you can do exercise at home. I always did it. You don't really
Yeah.
need to go out of the house to do it.
And besides, if you know, if you're a cyclist, then a lot of them have like rollers where you can ride the bike on like rollers. So you can.
Ah, I
ride
don't know
like,
that thing. I just have an exercise bike. You can do it on
Yeah.
a roller. That's cool.
Yeah, you kind of you put the bike on these rollers and you just like ride.
Never
in one
thought of
spot.
it.
So
No, that would be a bit big to put in my home. I just use a normal exercise bike that
but,
falls.
you know, if you really need to exercise, then like there are ways of doing it in the house, I suppose.
Absolutely, there are plenty. You
not
don't
about-
even really need the equipment. You can do aerobics. You can run in place. There are many ways.
Yeah. So, you know,
I should have
I mean-
invited you to the match,
I haven't. Hang on a second.
to the bottom right.
Yeah, just wait a second. I've got a booster. Should I put it on and then exactly invite, or
Put it on, yeah,
should
immediately.
I put it on after I accept your invite though, or before?
It's the same. No, it's better if you put it on before.
Doesn't
You're,
matter, doesn't matter.
otherwise, maybe you join at right and you can no longer do it.
I don't see an invite.
To the bottom right, I'll send it again. You have that
Back.
icon with the lines and the square.
I think I got you now.
You got it?
Are you,
Perfect.
am I in?
Let me see. Not yet. Should be able to join. By the number of players, you should be.
Take part for Team B. I think I'm in.
Let me see. Ah, we have the Americans as well. Are you flying American? Because the flag just appeared when you join.
Don't think so. I think I'm Swedish right now.
Ah, no, okay. Ah, you would be. We were playing Swedish yesterday.
Oh, I've got a Swedish dive bomber or something.
Ah,
Try and fly that. I don't know.
the one with the rear gunner. The one with the rear
Yeah.
gunner. I was just thinking about that. It's pretty good, actually. I've had some luck with it in arcade mode. Because I play also arcade mode. I'm that filthy of a casual. For the purpose of unlocking planes, it's very useful. You can do it while you watch television or something else. And in the end, you get the planes that you can use in simulation mode. So it's not a waste of time, actually.
Oh, this is a weird plane.
B-17B, yeah, I know it. It's got a lot of small bombs. I remember using it in arcade mode to bomb the small emplacements that are in the early battles, and you can destroy plenty because it's got
Do you
like
know what-
9 bombs, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you know what I drop bombs with? What, like keys or whatever?
Yeah, of course, you're using my control, so you will be able to drop bombs with the leftmost button of the stick, the one to the left of the joystick hat, the
Oh, the-
longish
the-
one.
The top thumb one, is that right?
Yeah, not the one in the
Left-
center,
left
the one
thumb
to the left. Yeah, left
Be
thumb.
using-
Yeah, perfect
Yeah,
definition.
okay, yeah.
You can go
What was I gonna
for either the ground battle or the objective. Tell me.
This reminds me of like the ferry battle or the like Grumman F4F. Do you know the big Grumman thing that the US used in the Pacific? Like
I guess so. It's the wait, the Hell Diver, is it?
Hellcat or something, I think.
I think it's the Hell Diver.
There's
The
Hellcat,
Hellcat.
Helldiver,
Hellcat is
You
the
have a s-
fighter. Hellcat is the fighter. I think you're thinking
Yeah.
of the Hell Diver.
but you know it's the one that's got like a turret on the back and all that.
Yeah, the one with the huge propeller. No, single propeller.
Yeah.
It's the biggest single propeller plane or something like that. It's very hard
No,
to take off with it.
I think that's the Corsair you're thinking of there.
No. The bomber
The
one.
Gull-
I'm thinking
Well,
of the one that bombs.
Yeah, okay.
I have it in this game, yeah. I used
So
it only a bit, but it's very difficult to take off in it. You have the craziest propeller pull in practice because it's
I,
so
I, I
big.
I tell you what though, the if it's the Helldiver, that one, I saw a guy's YouTube video where he managed to get in one, and he went around the inside,
Huh.
and it's huge because it's like a 4 or 5 man plane, you know, it's a single engine, but it's got like a pilot and
It's
it's got
certainly the one I'm speaking about. It's the only
yeah,
one that it could be. It's similar
it's
to the
got
one you're flying to. I was thinking about it.
yeah, and what terrified me about it though is it's like 4 man, but the pilot can't the gunner can't get to the pilot. So if the pilot gets knocked out, then the plane's going to crash because the gunner or the
Huh.
navigator can't even get to the pilot compartment. Like they're physically sealed apart. They can't get to each other, and
What kind of reasoning
like
is that? Why would you do
I
it?
don't know, and probably
Terrorist
just
measure. It's to prevent the what's the name? I mean, when you have the terrorists on the plane,
mutiny.
the
Yeah,
mutiny, something like that. Yeah.
but I think it's probably just too difficult to because obviously if you put an entryway like a doorway, then that is weakening the structural integrity of the fuselage.
I guess that could be a factor. Yeah.
So they probably just couldn't. But what terrified me is like if you were in the turret and if the plane gets hit and you were in the turret, it looked very very difficult to get out of the turret and then get to where the door was because the door was like at the bottom of the fuselage.
In
To
practice,
get in and out.
you was
So
put in there to fight or die. These were the only
if,
two
if
options.
if the plane is going down, like unless the pilot can do a very controlled descent, like you're not getting out basically. As far as I can tell, like it would be really difficult. There's like loads of machinery in the way, and
It's
oh
almost like
god,
they didn't care. I think I found the
yeah,
enemy.
I
It's
I, I,
almost
I
like
think
they didn't care.
I think the idea was that basically they would have fighter escorts, and it was kind of like if they got shit.
I think historically that was mainly a torpedo bomber, though. Huh?
My god, I've changed to the rear gunner. Holy shit, I can control the rear gunner with the mouse.
Yeah, you can.
That's fucking
Indeed.
crazy. I mean,
I do it sometimes. But it's hard
pretty
because
useless,
all
but
the controls are inverted. But you can get some
yeah.
kills with it. With the Sturmovik, I used to do it. Now I'm no
Where's
longer good at it. I used to get
where's
kills.
there it is. I was saying where's the ground battle, but
I'm at it actually, attacking a biplane. You should see my just call my location. I'm boom and zooming a biplane that was strafing the troops. With the J-20, the strange little plane that I was flying yesterday. I will have the technological superiority, I guess. But unfortunately, my crew sucks. And it blacks out like nothing. So it makes boom and zooming actually harder than tank combat. And I cannot tank combat with a biplane.
so
Especially...
I'm hoping these knobs will be dry by this afternoon. They seem to be a bit sticky right now. Like they're not quite dry, but it probably will take about a
No,
day.
wait a bit more rather than less. You might regret it otherwise.
Uh, well, they're not going to be perfect. You know, I mean, they
Well,
won't be. I can tell you that already they're not perfect, but
not
they're
well,
not really
of
meant to
course.
be.
No, they still will be much better than the
I
alternative.
mean, they would look a bit more authentic if they have a few like scrapes on them and stuff. You know,
Maybe
a
also.
bit more like they've been used by a real person.
Well,
See what I
after a while they will have been, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I say, I put clear coat on, but I don't really know how much it will protect them. Like I put like 3
No
layers of
idea
glass
also
on.
because the material is a bit unusual to say the least. It's like plastic, but it's a filament. How does it work? It's melted plastic in practice.
Yeah, basically melted plastic. You can get like rubbery material. I think it's called PT. I'm not sure what it's called. The plastic I use for this is called PTE, which is like hard plastic.
I know, there's different type of filaments. I know.
But you can get like a rubbery stuff, which would have been cool. But we don't have that at work, of course.
This pipeline pilot
Yeah,
is
so
not easy to hit.
like I don't really want to go into like what my work is and all that, but they manufacture little boxes that they put hardware in.
Uh-huh.
They
Ah,
they make some little circuit boards and then they 3D print boxes and put them in there. They don't make large numbers. Their clients are quite specialist, so we don't need to make like loads of them. But
interesting.
that's why they've got a 3D printer.
I used to work in a place there they did work with plastic and they made little boxes just like you said for some of their products but they did it in an old-fashioned way. They had a big machine that melted the plastic and then it went like inside what's the name the preformed shapes that give the shape to the little box in
An
practice.
extruder, like a mold machine or something.
Mold, yeah, something like that.
Mold.
What the fuck? This guy crashed into me. He did it on
Like a
purpose.
plastic mold extruder or something like that.
Something like that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a vacuum form. Is it a vacuum form thing?
I think so. It was a thing that was like a series of machine in a line. It produced a lot of smoke and strong smell.
Yeah. Those are I forget what they are, but it's like proper plastic manufacturing.
Yeah, the old type. Yes, indeed.
Like
I remember the girl that did it boasted about the fact that they never wasted anything, because even if something didn't come right, you could melt the plastic again and have another go.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it's old-fashioned, but it's the best way. Like, it's better.
Probably,
than 3D printing.
yeah.
It's just a lot slower.
It's one of the few things they did in-house. Most of the other things they just bought from external suppliers. But the plastic they did it themselves. I think it was very economical for them. Okay, I was fooled by that biplane. But what the hell? I still have the freeze. He freezes from time to time. He did it twice during the fight.
Okay,
This is the most annoying thing ever. Will be annoying.
I'm bombing the ground targets, but I don't really know what I'm hitting them.
You're in Charlie 3, I guess. Ooh, I was looking at the map and I overturned the biplane. What the hell? At least it was the reserve one. It doesn't have a cost. It will count for... Yeah, unfortunately. So it's like that guy killed me twice, actually. By making me take off. And the shit.
I don't know. No, I didn't. I don't seem to have killed that one.
You got nine bombs, right?
2. Yeah, 2 left.
2 left. Hey, Nix, welcome. Thank you for liking the stream.
Wish I could zoom. Like, I really miss 3D Bagoso.
I know. It's a big.
If they don't have it, I might message the author of the IL2 one and say, like, can you make a
Probably it might not be allowed here because they have an anti-chat in place. It might be scoffed at. I don't know. They might think it's a bit shitty, even if it absolutely isn't for VR. But go and explain it to these guys.
I think he's only really interested in IL2, but it's worth asking, you know.
Yes, it certainly is.
He's probably already answered this question as to why he won't do it or hasn't done it. Or
in my opinion, they wouldn't allow for it. Very likely for this game. It's more got more a competitive mindset, and people wouldn't actually accept the existence of the asset. I guess, I don't know, maybe not. It depends on the different companies. Actually, World of Tanks has a lot of mods that are a bit cheaty, and they're still allowed. So, like the most cheaty of all is the one that lets you see the stats of all players in game. Because, that's completely wrong. Because you can know who is going to fail, basically, even on the enemy team. If you know the tanks, you don't need to know his name. Maybe it's the tank that you know will be a cheater, and you will go for him. It's completely cheaty. And yet it's not scoffed at all. Ah, okay, Nix is here, but he's telling me that his mobile is working badly, so he can't really watch the stream. And sorry to hear,
so
man.
I killed anything and I died, apparently, so I'm going to try air combat instead.
Okay, I haven't had much luck with it. I mean, but also these freezes are very annoying. I don't know why the game has allowed them again. I might try to restart maybe with a different VSync settings. But yesterday I tried every combination, both with the drivers and the game. It's a strange thing. This game has done it forever. It's a very old game, and you find topics from like 5 years ago, people complaining of this problem. No one ever found a solution. I remember having it in the past, and then it just went away. Here it is. It froze again. It's actually worse than yesterday, after I tinkered with it. Damn it. After this sortie, I'll try to restart the game, but it's gonna be annoying.
I mean, BOS is the same. I used to have some problems with BOS that just went away randomly. Like, it used to be that I couldn't alt-tab out the game, because if I alt-tabbed, it would freeze for like 50 seconds or so.
No,
like,
never had that one, but I see what you mean. With BR is continuous. All games have strange unresolved matters, but this game for me it did it even without VR. Yesterday I was playing without VR and it did it all the same. I tested various possible solutions for more than a couple hours, and I knew I hadn't solved it. I knew.
I
In fact.
noticed that having a G-Sync monitor causes some problems as well. Like if you
That's true. In fact, I disabled the G-Sync for this game completely the other time that I had this problem, and it made it a bit
yeah,
better, but didn't solve it. It's
I
something
found that
that only
if you
this game has.
I found that if you alt tab out of a game that's using G-Sync, then it tends to freeze for a bit, or like
It does
sometimes
a lot of
crashes.
strange things. Yeah, G-Sync
Sometimes
is
crash again.
actually not very well supported in games. Like
I
every
think it's
technology that is not well
yeah.
spread, unluckily. And VR is the worst with it.
I think it's just that G-Sync games don't run in a proper full screen window. Like they run in a weird window that's not a standard DirectX thing. Or
I noticed that even if you don't put the game full screen, when you add tab out of a G-Sync game, it does something strange. Like you get
yeah,
a flash of black.
yeah, yeah,
That means that there is something at work, yeah.
definitely, yeah.
In
I
any
mean,
case, I'm not sure G-Sync is really that worth it. To me, it doesn't make that huge difference. I don't really notice the
well,
presence or absence of it.
in BF5 it's great. Like when it works well, it's really good.
In practice, what is it supposed to do? Make the game more smooth if you don't reach the frame cap. That's the idea, I
Yeah,
guess.
so in essence, if the frame rate is less than 165 or whatever your
Uh-huh.
refresh rate is, then it will change the monitor refresh rate to whatever the frame rate.
Ah,
the game
that's what it does.
is. So you get VSync, but it's the same, like it's constantly changing to match your monitor. If you see what I mean. So like
That's pretty
every
advanced. I guess it
every
can cause problem.
from one frame to the next, like all the time, it's changing the refresh rate of the monitor.
I see.
So
That's
it's
interesting.
kind of
I didn't really know how it worked.
like the idea is that you won't get tearing and you won't get input lag because like
I've heard the
yeah,
competitive gamers say it does introduce some input lag. Like when you play at the highest levels Counter-Strike, these people that really go for the tiniest microseconds, they seem to dislike G-Sync.
yeah, but
I read.
that's because those people will want like 200 300 FPS, which is obviously more than 165. So
Ah, they
there
will
is
never
a bit of
play.
lag,
Okay.
but for a normal gamer, if you don't like screen tearing and if you just want it to look nice and be
To
responsive,
tell you the
then
truth, I haven't
G-Sync is
seen
good
a
enough.
screen tearing in years. Like ever since I started going above 100 FPS in most normal games.
Yeah, you
Screen
won't
tearing
really
is a
see
thing
that
of the
much.
past.
But it,
Enemy
yeah, I mean,
bomber. Enemy bomber. Here.
I came from a 60 FPS monitor, and it's amazing.
No, I used it for the longest time. You have no idea. I was playing on a normal TV because I was one of the people that thought, no, it's a friendly bomber. That thought, well, how different can it be to go above 60 FPS? Well, no,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
different. Now that I know, I actually bought the monitor as a second an afterthought because I had a stronger computer for VR now, and I thought, well, I might as well buy the monitor too. And no, but it was I completely transformed the experience. It actually made me a better player for FPS because yes, it does make a difference for aiming, in my opinion at least.
I think G-Sync is pretty good. It's just it can be difficult to get games to run at nearly 165 FPS. You see what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
the
it
best
depends
if you-
on the game. Yeah, of course.
yeah. It's
I
the best
actually
if you can
started
get
to
very high frame rate.
experience older games more than the newer ones ever since I
Yeah.
started going on these frame rates because the fluidity really transforms everything. And the worst thing for me, it hasn't really ruined the 60 FPS games, but the games that run at 30 FPS, and there are some in the console world, for me are now completely unwatchable. Like, to me, they run badly. I used to have no problems with 30 FPS if it was stable. Now I cannot even watch it. It's abysmal for me. It looks like it's working badly.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. I mean, God, it sounds elitist, but I don't really think I could go back to consoles at this point.
No, it's true. Same. But mostly,
I
no, I'm even worse than you. I have problems going back to normal games that don't have VR. Even
to
though I will have to do it, because now I no longer know what to stream. I have problems of technical nature with every single game that I used to do. Even this now works badly.
To be fair, like I've always been a PC gamer, like because like when I first got a computer, my parents were like, no, we're not going to buy you a Nintendo because at least you can do schoolwork on a computer.
Yeah.
But, like I've always taken the attitude that I think the PCs are more flexible. You can do more with the PC.
No, the games are more interesting on
And games
average,
are
but
better
it's
anyway.
not always been like that. Huh? There was a time when console games were actually more advanced, more interesting. I'm speaking about the Super Nintendo, early PlayStation era. That
Yeah.
time, if you didn't buy Japanese games, you were losing a lot, actually. Japanese games were much, much ahead. And then they never changed. So basically, the trend was inverted. But there was a time when our games were much more limited in scope and ambition. And that was the time when I was mostly a console gamer. I used to be that. Then I switched back to computers again. For me, it was a series of cycles mainly. I went from one to the other and to the other for
I had a few
again.
consoles, but yeah, I mean, I always found them a bit frustrating in terms of like, there's not a lot you can do other than play games with them.
Yeah, I know, but I always loved Japanese culture and Japanese style of gaming. So for me, it was really the only way to experience it. For instance, for me, I was absolutely sure before VR came out that the savior of gaming would have been Dark Souls. Dark Souls and that kind of game, that style of games that
Yeah.
brought back the difficulty, the stat crunching, but not just stat crunching for the sake of it, that plays into the action, so to speak, and the fact that the developer was actually the enemy of the gamer, not the friend that had to make you experience like a theme park attraction, but you actually was against him, and that was a way to make a more interesting game. But now it's become a formula, really. We've had several games in the style of Dark Souls made from the same company and others, and even themselves. From Software, in my opinion, is missing a bit the point. Because
Stuff
it
like
was.
stuff like Bloodborne and Sekiro are all.
Bloodborne is very good, in my opinion. It's different, but it's good. Sekiro, I didn't like it at all, for instance.
No.
Sekiro brings back a lot of concepts from the more modern style of gaming. It's more plot-oriented, it's more limited in scope, less replayable. There is also less of a sense of style, because yes, it plays with Japanese culture, but it's very well established. It uses tropes to a greater extent. The cool fact about Dark Souls and Demon Souls was the fact that it's so mysterious. You have no plot, basically. You make the plot. You have no
there's not a lot
setting. Actually, it's very complex and it works on many layers and levels, but you're never explained what exactly is happening. And many people come to different ideas, and that's also part of the experience, what made it cool, in my opinion. And also, yeah, it's more open as a game in general. It still keeps the RPG convention first and foremost. Sekiro is just an action game, in my opinion. But also, I didn't like the combat, because it's based on rhythm. I suck at rhythm games. Basically, Sekiro, you have to parry everything. So, you have to press the button in the exact moment. It becomes a challenge of reflexes instead of strategy, and I dislike it, personally. Still a good game, but I didn't finish it. After a while, it really wore on my nerves. I was having too much difficulty compared to Dark Souls. Dark Souls and also Bloodborne I could finish without much difficulty. Sekiro, every boss was an agony for me. Each single boss. I took like 40 tries. In the end, I succeeded. Like, I passed even the I don't know if you play. Do you play Sekiro?
No, not really.
There is this stupid ape, like a gorilla, that you have to kill. That stupid gorilla. I took an entire weekend. I got fixated. I played like 8 hours straight against that gorilla, doing the same fight 10,000 times. In the end, no, I cannot take it anymore. Then I won. And then after that, there was another boss, even harder. And I said, what the hell, what the fuck? And I gave up.
I mean, there's been a couple of the consoles that I really liked, like the PS2 and the Dreamcast, like especially
the Dreamcast was very ahead with the times. I love the Dreamcast. I love that kind of gameplay also. The Dreamcast had simulators, for instance, no? The Dreamcast had some of the best simulators of the time from Yu Suzuki, F355, the one with the Ferrari, no? That was probably the best driving simulation of the time.
So have you ever played, like, I got it for Jet Set Radio. And,
Jet Set Radio, I have a lot of games for the Dreamcast. I have most of the games that came out in Europe for the Dreamcast. I bought almost them all.
Yeah, I remember, like, I saw a Dreamcast because I went to someone's party in London, and like they had it on a VGA monitor.
Yes, I had the VGA adapter as well. I still have it, in fact. I still have it.
I was like, I've got to buy one. I tell you what, though.
It had a modem. It had a lot of things that were ahead with the times.
I tell you what, though, I just bought for my Dreamcast because now I've got a 4K TV and it won't do 640 by 480, so you can't display a Dreamcast even with a VGA adapter.
I remember having great problems playing with it on modern TVs. In fact, I gave up after that time.
Well, I bought an OSSC, which is an upscaler. So what it will do is upscale 640 by 480 to other resolutions. It's very, like, you can tell it exactly how to do it. It can like double the lines, or it can scale them, and it can do.
That's pretty cool piece of kit.
But basically, it's like updatable. You can update the firmware on it. It's like open source firmware. And you can get it to display on a 4K TV.
Very interesting.
Cool. Very interesting. They're expensive. It was like €100.
Well, it could be worth it.
But it's worth it because if you can get like RGB out of any console, like a Mega Drive or whatever, then you can get it to display on a 4K.
I wonder what kind of success I would have by streaming old-time consoles, like streaming a Nintendo 64 game from the actual console, no? If you can manage with a video capture card, there aren't many people doing that.
I'd like to do that.
That could be a very... You could make it like a documentary, no? You show also the console, its workings.
Yeah.
Like with the Amiga, no? Imagine the coolness factor of a guy streaming Amiga games from the actual Amiga, not an emulator.
There are people who do that, but they don't seem to get many views. I think that the
I think
Amiga-
it's more a thing for YouTube videos than streams, actually, yeah?
I think the Amiga is like the people who are fans of the Amiga are like getting old, if you see what I mean. So
Yes, but they will still be on the internet, no? We are an example.
but
We
like
are a glaring example of that.
anybody who's like 30 or under isn't really interested in the Amiga because it's probably.
I don't know. If they see the games, they might become interested because they play some shit on mobile phones that is much worse than what we had on the Amiga.
Most of them seem to just get interested in like Mega Drive and Super Nintendo because it's Sega and
That's the thing. It's where it's less known. It's less known, but the games on the Amiga were sometimes just as good. Sometimes, not always. Not always. That's the thing that I was saying. Western gaming and Eastern gaming, basically. Eastern gaming was ahead, but it didn't have certain things that the Amiga did. Not just simulators, but vehicle games in general. Games that had realistic depiction of war. That was a very Western thing even back then.
I hate to say it, but as a kid, like one of the best things about the Amiga was that you could buy discs for like 20p and you could copy them with Xcopy.
That was the same in Italy. No, it was absolutely.
When I was like a 14-year-old kid with like practically no money, it's like that's important. Like there's no way for me to buy.
It was for everyone. It created a generation of gamers, basically.
Like I couldn't. It wasn't a case of like I was pirating, so I wasn't buying games. It was like. It's either pirate games or just never play them because I couldn't afford them.
Man, they didn't even sell them in stores. They didn't exist. Video game stores in general. I don't know, in my country at least. It was circulated through that. The only way to play these games was that.
I had some originals, but I threw the boxes away. Like I threw.
That's a shame. Now they would be worth something.
I had like 20 or 30. I've rebought a bunch, but. They're actually not worth a lot of money in Amiga games. So you buy them. For
There's
like
not
£12
a collector scene. Let's say.
I think that in maybe 10, 15 years, you might actually see a big sort of collector market for them because they'll be quite rare at that point. You see what I mean?
You know what's the problem? I read once the floppy disk actually won't last that long. All these games will be gone to waste actually.
Yeah,
Only
so
the emulated version.
You can't play the original floppies, but there's, like I was saying to you yesterday, there's WHD load where you can play.
That's the only way you'll be able to experience them, I think.
There is another way though. There's GoTech. So GoTech, it replaces the floppy disk drive, and like you plug in a USB drive and you put the ADF files on there.
I should look into that. I have bought my original Amiga 500 and the one that I bought from a guy when the floppy broke.
You could just put a GoTech in it because. Basically, as far as the Amiga is concerned, it's a real floppy disk. Like it can't tell the difference. So if you don't want to buy an accelerator and like upgrade the machine to use WHD load, just put a GoTech in, which is like €50, and it'll run the same.
Never thought about it. That could be interesting for me, indeed.
Yeah, you can get like GoTech kits because you need to be able to select the file, and it comes with like a little knob. And like a little screen.
That's the coolest shit. I love it. So as a concept.
You can kind of select the file, and then you push the button, and that becomes the disk. If you see what I mean.
That's much better than what we had at the time, by far.
The Amiga detects that, and it's like it just boots. Like as far as the Amiga is concerned, it's a real disk drive.
Does it take the usual time to load, or is it faster?
Yeah, it's the same time because it's
simulated. Okay.
It's an exact simulation. It doesn't speed it up. It's the same as a floppy drive.
I got some Amiga games took ages to start.
Yeah. So, but like, if you get an accelerator, then WHD load. Games that came on multiple floppy disks.
Yeah. Monkey Island 2, 11 discs.
They get patched,
After the intro, you already had used up like 5 discs. That was the way of the time.
Those get patched by WHD load. So if it does ask for disc 2, you just press fire and it just goes on.
That's very convenient.
It will ask for the next disc, but it's already.
Here you are. I'm below you.
So
that's really interesting.
But like a lot of the games for WHD load, some of them had a hard drive installer. So like if you've got enough memory, then the best thing about WHD load is that, like, load times are gone. So like if the game used to take a few minutes to load, now with WHD load it takes like 2 seconds.
Not bad at all.
It's
That's not
great.
too shabby.
It's yeah. I mean,
It's an SSD for Amigas, basically.
the trouble with WHD load is you need more memory. You need at least 4 megabytes in the Amiga, and you need a faster CPU. You need like a 68.
No, then mine wouldn't be
or
okay.
30.
Because you have the base model, basically, with the expansion, the famous memory expansion, no?
If you had like a 500 or a 1200 with an extra 4 megabytes of RAM,
No,
it'll run
I have a 500 with a megabyte, 1
you
megabyte of
you
RAM.
can't do it on an unexpanded 500 with just 1 meg.
No, I guess not. I would have to get a different Amiga.
I mean, there are some accelerators for the A500 that are not too expensive, but it's not, you can't
But
do
it's
it.
not really worth it. No, at that point, you rather go with the emulation route, I guess.
You get a 1200 basically if you want to do it, really.
In any case, there are some games for the Amiga that are basically very similar to what is being produced now from the indie market. Maybe
Yeah,
even
yeah.
better than them.
A lot of 2D.
There were a lot of artists working in gaming as well. So the graphic designs, not speaking about the graphic from a technological standpoint, but there are some very cool looking games, like the one from Psygnosis or Ocean. They would still hold up today, in my opinion, on the indie market. They could easily sell them.
Yeah, Psygnosis, DMA.
Psygnosis is
Yeah.
the first that comes to. There was the one was
Team
named
17,
Talmos. What was the name? Talion, maybe. Team 17, certainly too. Yeah.
The ones that made no second prize, Thalion or something, or Talion.
That one.
Yeah. They only made like a couple of games, I think.
Only.
Um,
Which were them?
yeah.
Maybe I'm mistaking
I
it
don't-
for something else.
there was no second prize, and I think there was another one. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It came to my mind almost similar. Maybe because the name stuck to my mind.
And there was like, God, so there was, I forget what they were called at the time, but there was what became Rockstar Games. And there was DICE, Digital Illusions, who made Pinball Fantasies.
Pinball Fantasies and Pinball Illusions, and then they made a third one. I don't remember.
Pinball Dreams, yeah.
Pinball Dreams was the first one, I think.
It was Pinball Dreams, Pinball Fantasies, Pinball Illusions, and I think there was Pinball Hazard as well.
My god, I can find no enemy on this map. I would almost switch match, to tell you the truth.
I got shot down by some guy in like a MiG-3 or something.
Shall we go to a different map? This is a dead zone.
Yeah,
okay?
it's definitely-
Yeah, let's go away. It's annoying. I would like to play the Swedish, but I guess if this is the only match, let's go to something else. And I'll try to restart the game, just in case it might fix my problems. But it won't. In any case, I'll try. Let me see. It won't because I know that it won't. I experienced it previously. I'll go to change some
But yeah,
settings
I'll
of NVIDIA.
I'll send you a picture sometimes, Alec, because what I did with my 1200 when I got it, I bought an accelerator for it, which was like, I think it was like 150 euros. But then I found a Kickstarter because the 1200 comes in a white case, and I quite like like black cases and black keyboards. And then there was a Kickstarter. Someone was making replacement keycaps for the A1200, like replacement keys. That you put on the keys.
For the keyboard in practice of the
Yeah.
thing.
And like they made them black, and then they also made like a black case. So I bought all that, and it was like 200 euros in total. But now I've got an A1200 that's like black with black and dark grey keys, which is really cool.
Okay, I'll try adaptive VSync. It might help, I guess. Thread optimization won't do anything. Multi-frame sampled AI. And the GPU. I don't know. I'll play with them. Let's go with something different and see if it helps. This was the only game that still worked well in VR for me. The only one. Now even this is working badly. What the fuck? They really want me to switch to normal gaming. I'll go with adaptive VSync. Let's see if it improves matters. I guess we'll play Italians Rank 2 at this point. If we can find an open match.
I didn't really change anything with War Thunder.
No, but it's another thing. I already experienced it. I don't know when it went away. That's the problem. If I still remember what solved it the other time that it happened, many people experience this kind of problem.
I can't even find it in the list. It's not even here.
I'll open the window.
Doesn't
Starting
have a
the.
profile.
On NVIDIA? No, you should create it. No, you say add and...
Well, it's working fine for me. I don't have any freezes.
No, don't touch anything, absolutely. You might make it worse. Leave it like it is. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, restarting. That game was very boring. Let's go to a different one. I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to the squad. Let's try Italians. You should have the credits to spawn anything today, right?
Hang on a second.
Let me see.
Change country. How do I change country?
You click on the Italian flag below.
But I'm stuck in a battle, I think.
You're still in the battle? Well, get out of the battle.
Battle, yep.
I see you. I invited you. You accepted the invite.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You're in the main menu. Okay, you selected the Italians. Perfect. And I see an Italian. No, this is 1.0. 2.3. This is good. Let's go here. Sicily is a small map, so we shouldn't have trouble finding enemies. Yeah, ready up. You click the ready button on the top.
Yeah. So yeah, like I have this 1200 that's now in a black case, which is quite nice.
I can imagine. I've never seen an Amiga in a black case. They had to make everything grey, no? Dark grey, that strange color that was annoying or horrible, and also yellowed with age.
And like a few years ago, I got a CD32.
Ah,
So-
that's interesting. I remember wanting
like
it for a
CD32.
time, and then luckily not buying it because in the end they didn't make many games for it.
They're quite good because
Spawning, excuse me, I'm interrupting you just to tell you that I'm spawning in Delta 2.
Okay.
Near Palagonia, that's the name of the town.
I mean
With the
CD32 is-
Reggiane.
the CD32 is good because you can just burn CDs like you can. Get
Ah,
CDs
yeah,
from
that's
games.
more, it's shared better with time, I can imagine.
And people make compilations with like 100 games on them, and you can just burn it
Ah.
in a CD drive. Just put it
Yeah,
in the
because the games actually were pretty tiny, I bet. What about the music? The music must have
C1.
been on tracks. How do you make
Where,
gear
I'm in
up?
C1. Where did you spawn from?
C1, well, you're not that far. I'm in Delta 2. I just call location. And this will be a more action-packed battle, I guess.
Probably.
Performance is heavier. I'm at about 50 FPS.
But yeah, to answer that, I mean, with the CD32, most games didn't have CD audio. Most games were just like an A1200 port.
Ah, they didn't even have the CD audio. Then what was even the point of putting the
Most
game
they
on
didn't
CD?
bother. There were a few games that were like full CD32 with like video and with CD audio, but most of them were just a port. So like,
I
a lot of
remember the
games-
bother of emulating the PC engine because it had the audio on tracks.
Yeah, a lot of these CD32 games, they just had like kind of like 5 megabytes of data on the disc, and most of the CD was just empty.
What a ridiculous thing.
They just
Well,
didn't
I guess
bother.
it was better than the multiple diskettes of the Amiga.
It really like it lasted like 6 months on the market. You know, it really completely.
No, it was complete. It was that period when a lot of console came out and they all failed one after the other.
And to be honest, like Commodore was dying, and like most Amiga companies were like, well, we'll just release a quick port of Raid 1200 game. We'll see if it works, and if it does, we might release some more games. And then after that, CD32 died. So obviously they didn't really do anything else because it was like, well, why bother?
It
Like,
was the end of an era, basically, when the Japanese
Yeah.
game came to dominate the market.
The you know, there's a bunch of consoles like the 3DO and the CDI and the
All
32
these, I was thinking of this.
all
Yeah.
died.
I remember
Do you-
playing the CDI once in electronics shop and trying that thing, and I said, but it has Zelda,
Yeah.
that must be cool. And the game of Zelda was like a stupid, you enter and exit the doors, and there
Yeah,
was
I
some
saw that,
ugly
yeah.
cartoon playing from a level to another.
It was like Dragon Slayer, wasn't it? It was like it plays video.
Basically,
bad.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I tell you what, I found like I remember like one Christmas I was going home to my parents, and I stopped in like a game store on the way, and I found that this was like a couple of years after the Jaguar. And
The
I found
Jaguar.
they-
A friend of mine had the Jaguar. Almeno.
well, they had found like a bunch of Atari Jaguars and games like in their warehouse new, and they
Huh.
just put them on. They put them on the shelves, and they were like Atari Jaguars, €10. Every Atari Jaguar.
No,
every Atari Jaguar
really?
game, €5. So like,
Amazing. Did you buy
I went in,
anything?
yeah, and I came out with like a boxed new Atari Jaguar and like 5
That's
games.
the coolest thing ever. I
was-
wish I ever had that
It was,
luck.
it was like €50 in total. I was
The
like,
closest thing I came to
Yeah.
was a clearance sale on GameCube wheels. I bought a GameCube wheel for like €2 and never used it because it was supported by 2 games, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was like a couple of years after the Atari Jaguar, but it shows how badly it failed because they obviously couldn't sell them in the shop, because like no one wanted to buy them.
No, at that point.
So they sold them for like €10 each, and that probably didn't
Imagine
last
the
very
waste of money. That's comparable to the famous ET landfill in the desert of Nevada.
Yeah.
I think it was something on that scale. Complete
But-
failure and utter.
The Jaguar was like famously what nearly finished Atari off because it really badly failed. Like they
But
got
it
everything
was
wrong.
bad. I remember seeing the games on the various magazines that I bought at the time. They seemed not really better than what you could achieve on a Super Nintendo with the chip on the cartridge, like
To be
Star
honest,
Fox and that.
Yeah, to be honest, most of the Atari Jaguar games are like not much better than the Amiga games. It's about the same level. They've got a few more colors.
No, that's it.
Like it can't do good 3D. It's not really a great machine.
It wasn't, and the joystick was strange with all the tiny buttons. That
Oh,
was an
terrible,
interesting
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It was interesting, but it was also very unwieldy.
I've got the version of Doom that came out for the Atari Jaguar.
How
really,
is it?
Really, really was bad.
Okay.
It's bad.
I
And
think
I've
the
got
best
Pinball
16-bit Doom was the one on the Super Nintendo, case in point.
possibly, yeah.
Because
I've got,
because the Super FX chip actually made it a fairly powerful console at the time once you added the
Yeah.
chip in the cartridge.
Yep. And they also ported Pinball Fantasies to the Atari Jaguar, and that's quite a good version because it's got more colors and stuff.
Huh, cool, I didn't
So
know about
I got Pinball Fantasies. That's like a good game actually.
But that series of pinball games was pretty cool, yeah. Even though, another example of the superiority of Japanese gaming, you had these pinball games on the Mega Drive that were much more cool, because they actually played with what you could have in a pinball in the context of a video game, like with moving characters, monsters, a sort of an overarching quest, no? Whereas the Western interpretation of video game pinball was basically just a simulation of pinball. And that's where they started to lose ground, in my opinion. On these little things, the Japanese had more ambition with gaming at the time. They tended to see things in a different way, because it was an evolution of other creative ventures, like they do with the anime and manga, no? That was
But
a
as
great
you said,
driving
I think
force.
I think the Japanese games have kind of gone into a rut now. Like
They suck right now. I hate what has become.
mostly very similar. See what I mean?
They're terribly behind on everything. It's terrible. They don't understand new gaming. On a way, they would for certain things. I think in Japan there would be a major push for VR if only people actually had PCs in the home. Because in Japan, not many people have PC at home.
I heard that's becoming more popular, mostly because of things like emulators.
I don't know. In general, a PC gamer is very rare in Japan, but even the use of PC is not as well spread as it is in our countries. Like when you see, I watch a lot of Japanese anime, basically, no? And you tend to get a bit of the idea of their culture. And you notice that when a person can use a PC, it's actually viewed as someone a bit strange, a bit out of the norm. That's the reason they use smartphones for everything, for instance. They have the PC at home, even that is not as well spread as you would think, not as much as our countries. But they don't know how to use it much. They still search for things in Yahoo, you see the point.
Yeah.
They're just behind on the entire map. Because they're at the same time very modern and very traditional, no? And when the new technology came, maybe they adopted it a bit too soon. Like they had high-resolution video at the time of the VHS, no? And the consequences of that is that maybe you don't adapt the technologies that come after as quickly as other countries where they were more needed. And the same happened with computers. Like the original flip phones from Japan did most of the things that our smartphones do now. And now Japanese still have the flip phones. They don't buy the smartphones. That's the thing. Because if something is good, you don't change it in Japan. That's the main difference between Chinese and Japanese culture, basically. And it applies to many things, especially technology.
Have you tried Cemu?
Cemu, what is it? Excuse me.
Yeah, like it's a Wii U emulator.
I know about it.
because
Yeah.
I tried it because you can get the latest Zelda to run well on it.
Well, I have it on the Switch. I played there.
But the thing is, in CMU, you can get it to run at like 4K, 60 FPS kind of
That's
thing.
a very overrated game, by the way. The mechanics are
It's
top
alright.
notch. The mechanics are top notch. The idea, the overlying idea is very good, but the game itself is very unfinished. It's like Metal Gear Solid 5 in that regard. Same
But
thing.
also they made a VR mod for it, so you can
Yeah, I
play
know.
that
With the
zombie in VR.
cardboard thing that you put on your head and hold it with your
No,
hands.
you can do it.
Ah,
Use
you mean
your,
with the emulator? Yeah, no, I never tried it.
yeah, you can do it. You can do it with the emulator. It's weird, but you could try it.
So that's in theory one game that seems to have some evolution for Japanese games. If they went that way, it could have potential. Also, you know what? One game that was, in my opinion, topical but no one noticed was Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma was very ahead with the time, an evolution of Dark Souls in practice.
Yeah.
If more games were made like that, I would still be a console gamer probably now. The same thing that was going on with Dark Souls. They're games that have huge potential, in my opinion, but not even the companies that produce them realize it. Case in point, they went the Sekiro way. I mean, Sekiro is a very good action game, but it doesn't build on what made Dark Souls great, in my opinion. Whereas Bloodborne does. Bloodborne is good in that respect. I like Bloodborne actually a lot. Also the setting, yeah, Lovecraftian, that's the coolest setting for any game. Very underused.
There's some guys over the lake, but they're going back to their.
I'm going back to base right now because I shot down a bomber and now I'm damaged. The engine is red, basically. I gotta do it.
No, I mean, I used to. There were some Japanese games I used to really like especially sort of Sega AM2 and AM3 games of the Dreamcast era.
Yeah, the Dreamcast era. No, I love these. They were very, very good.
They
All
were
the
doing-
driving games, the flying games they made.
But all the arcade games, they were porting perfectly to the Dreamcast for a time.
I loved arcade game at the time, and I still do. For me, a game must be something that you put on and you go straight to the action, like with simulators, basically. I don't like the plot of games. For me, also because the plot of games is most of the times not good. If you were to make something that was as good as the average movie, maybe I like the movie games. But as it stands, most games have stupid stories that really don't cut it for, especially for something that lasts like 20 hours. No, maybe a movie, if the plot is not too good but it looks good, for a couple of hours you can have fun with it. But if I stick with a typical Japanese RPG that can last upwards of 50 hours, and the story is full of cliches, stupid characters and all that, I will certainly get bored with it. And even worse if it's inspired by the Hollywood movies, because it's very overdone, all the games that were all the rage during the PlayStation 3 era, when actually probably console game has peaked up to now. They used to have incredible earnings for the first time. It was completely mainstream with these kind of games. I'm thinking about Last of Us, Uncharted, that kind of games. To me, they're very boring. I like the action, but the moments where there is no action kills me, and I start to skip the sequences. And then why do you even play the game? It completely put me off gaming. There was a time when I didn't know how to keep playing games, and probably before VR came out, I started to play a lot of online games, and that kind of saved me. The competition aspect of gaming that I never cared much for. Then VR for me changed everything, because this will make any kind of game interesting for me, but unfortunately it's taking off so damn slowly. Even the games that are here are not even guaranteed to keep working like I'm experiencing right now, and I have already in the past. So yeah, we'll see. Probably we're receiving a big signal in that respect with Half-Life Alyx tomorrow. I'm not that sure it will be as good as people expect personally, because already Boneworks has been a great disappointment for me and many others.
I'm going to have to buy Alex because I don't. You get it free with the headset.
Yeah, I got it free.
Got an index.
Well, I'll be streaming it tomorrow. Maybe we can try to find an idea together about its quality, if you want to come and watch. But we'll see, I guess. If it's really good as some people expect, it could really make the media go mainstream. I don't know.
Hang on, I'm just taking off, so if you just wait there.
Oh, okay. I'll be above the airfield for you to take off. Let's go together. I think the Series 1 is better. Well, no, but they're rated the same. We're capturing, by the way, right on top of the base. Good, good.
There's like some Swedish heavy fighters around, I think, or something.
There's the same guys that were annoying us yesterday, I
I
think.
got shot down by this like Swedish twin engine just now, and it was like flying all around
No,
me.
never mind. I think that
couldn't get anywhere near it.
WTHC guy is in the clan that was doing that lame match yesterday without NTR. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. I'm having pretty bad performance in any case, but the game itself has been running badly since yesterday, so it's not a big surprise.
Man, my house is fucking cold at the moment. It's like my
You
house is
see,
cold. It's like,
it seems
like 19
well.
degrees inside.
Here it's not so cold at the moment, but they're saying it might become colder in the following days. You're heading northwest from the airfield, is that you? I'm following the right
Cats,
person?
yeah.
Okay.
I think these are all friendlies, aren't they?
Turning right now, right?
Yeah, we might as well go towards
The lake. But it's still flashing, the base, eh? We have some enemy around the base.
let's go back to the base then.
Let me see, I'm doing a
AA is
turn.
firing.
Yes.
But AA is so random in this game. AA just fires like in random
No,
directions.
the one from the base is extremely bad. It's the worst because it shoots in a random direction and still damages you. So you
Just,
cannot use it for spotting. It's horrible.
Is that,
That should.
is that a tank on the ground?
There could be, by
there's-
judging by the map. Okay, to the north of us there is someone calling for help, calling for
It's
back.
showing like a player icon, so like this tank must be a player.
No. It's just a tank. We don't have player-driven tanks in this map. There is a mod where you have player-driven tanks and planes, but I never played it, to tell you the truth. I don't even know how to play it. But it does exist. I think there's supposedly the simulator battles for tanks that also happen to have planes. And now moving north, there was someone calling for backup, but I don't
Well,
see.
I saw the other day you played World of Tanks. I keep meaning to try that, but I don't know what it
Do you want to do it together? I'm very
sometime.
much an expert. In any case, like I said, next week I'm going to switch back from VR games for streaming because they all work badly now. I wouldn't know what to play, actually. Unless I go to driving games problem, but not even Dirt Rally works well. Everything works badly.
On me,
Everything.
there's something
They-
smoking near me.
Okay, coming. They did
I don't know what it
something
is.
that completely ruined it. For me, at least at the time, while streaming. I don't know if it will work without streaming.
I'm
We
not
might end
surprised.
up playing Sturmovik together sometimes without streaming because
Yeah.
it just sucks.
To be honest, I think that like if you play anything too much, then you start getting angry at it. You
No, it's not that. I
Everything's
could
on
still
fire.
play this all day. It's a technical problem, 100%. Performance has worsened. It's not my impression. I'm sure of it. 100%. So it's either my system, but what could it be? I mean, I didn't change anything.
This
I
guy is going
reset the
back-
trial.
He's going back to the lake.
Yeah, okay. There have been a lot of updates, both Steam VR and drivers. My idea
Yeah.
is that it was, like I said yesterday, they updated the libraries and the routines, the whatever, the drivers, but they didn't update the games. And that has worsened performance to a degree that maybe doesn't hurt a normal gamer, but if you're streaming VR, it hurts you, because in fact nothing works well anymore. Nothing. Every single game, this included. That since I started streaming,
enemies here.
in the beginning I was playing okay, now it works badly. Okay, I think I see you. You're going towards the lake, low altitude, right?
Yeah, I'm turning left because there's like 2 enemies here. I don't want to go straight towards them. Oh, there's-
Okay,
there's
you should
bombers.
probably go higher. You're like,
These are bombers.
you're below 500. Ah, I see you going toward the bomber, straight for it.
Yep.
Watch out, it might be an American heavily armored thing. I see you shooting. Shooting back.
Oh shit!
There's something coming for you from the side.
Pilot knocked out.
Okay. That is looking bad. It's the French bomber with the one with the
No,
high
it's
wing.
American. I got some hits on it. Just
I did as well, but it's not that yet.
knocked out immediately.
Thank you for liking the stream. I'll read your name in a minute. Wait just a sec while I do this battle. I cannot see the name because we're playing in VR. At least for today. Going for a second pass on this bomber. It's American. It looks French.
It's some kind of Catalina or something. Yeah, it's American.
Ah, you're right. It's the Catalina. That's what it is. Yeah. It's fairly hardy. Trying to
You know,
break
I
the
s-
wing. I don't know. He dropped the bombs.
You know, I found like a couple of years ago online. I found someone selling a Catalina, and it was only like $20,000 or something.
Wow.
It's like-
That's even better than the Jaguar deal.
I was like, man, I could buy that and just live in it.
You're right. It's a Catalina. No, it's also cool looking. It's a cool looking bomber.
I found some guy in the US who bought like a 737, and he
I know about it.
Marked
I
in the
think I wrote an article on it, if I'm not
Yeah, he made
mistaken.
it into his house. And it's
Yeah,
such a house.
I made an article on it, and there were several people that were doing the same. I did like an anthology of these cases. I have
I
an
don't
enemy
know
on
how
my
much he
tail.
spent, but it seems like a cool idea.
It worked. If I well remember, it worked kind of well. Most small houses can work if you're very rational with your furniture and if you
Well,
really.
I don't know about you, but like if I wasn't using PCs because they use a lot of power, like gaming PCs, then I could almost like spend a bunch of money on like solar panels and like wind generators and shit.
You
and
would
just
like to go off the grid, like an
live a
American,
luxury
basically.
house.
That's a very
Yeah,
American thing, a very
I think
survivalist
it's a good
thing.
idea. Like I think it's a good
It
idea.
could
because,
play well with the times. We're probably regressing to a medieval state in like a couple of
yeah,
months, so it's actually worth looking into.
if you could like generate your own electricity and you know maybe get like clean water somehow. I think it's
There
not
are
a bad
some
idea.
people that do. I think there was an entire TV series dedicated to it. I watched some episodes of it.
There are some, yeah.
They have some series on TV. Well, I don't know. It's very convenient to just buy the utilities. I don't know about it.
The trouble is, the thing that stops me from doing this is that solar power is getting better all the time, and like what you buy now is not going to be as good as what will be out in like 3 or 4 years at the moment. So it's like it's not really a great time to invest in that kind
Ah,
of
you think it's better
technology.
to wait a bit, I
Yeah,
guess.
and it's kind of expensive right now. I think it'll get a lot cheaper in a few years.
That's also likely. Here in Italy, we have the problem that no one. Oh, it's you. No one is giving incentives for buying. Basically, they only did it for the electric cars right now. But then it's stupid because we
Yeah.
don't have the infrastructure to actually recharge the cars. There's none anywhere.
We have that now. Like I was looking the other day because electric cars are expensive, but like so my parents live like 200 miles away, and I could drive like 200 miles to my parents, and I could go via electric charging points now. And yeah, I'd have to spend like maybe an hour charging in a service station,
So little,
but
doesn't it take longer? Depends
not
on the
that
car, I
bad.
guess.
Yeah,
No, not that bad. But if you have to go somewhere else, if you have to maybe do a trip for a special occasion, how do you do it
yeah.
when you don't know where
So,
the charges are?
so basically, there are like 3 different types of chargers now, and like the fast ones will get your car.
Ah, so
Like
that's also that problem. I didn't know. Different
they'll give.
standards of
Yeah,
charges.
well, most cars can use most types of chargers, but the one that's most common will give you like an 80% charge in like 1 hour.
Oh,
So
that's pretty decent. It's doable,
you
I
can,
mean.
there are some sites online. There are some websites that show where they are, so you can like plot your route before you go.
I don't know how advanced is the infrastructure in my country.
You have to be more careful
Probably
about
all
it.
the countryside would have
Yeah.
nothing. Like if you go out of
You
the city, you're out of luck, I guess.
you got to be more careful than with a regular car. Like you can't just get in the car and go. You know.
You
Uh,
have to think about it. Yeah, of course. Also.
you got to plan your route. But they're getting to the point where they're more or less viable. I mean, for everyday driving, for like driving around a city.
Yes,
Like
probably in our lifetime they will become the
if
standard,
you're
but we're
doing
not
if you're
yet
doing like
there.
less than 50 miles a day, and most journeys people do are less than 50 miles. Then you can use an electric
Yeah,
car.
if you do home job, it's probably a good solution.
Well, most people just drive to work, and most people live like 10 miles away from work or less.
Yes.
Um,
Then again, there are people that work far from home, like I
yeah,
used to.
yeah.
And what is this? We have again the people that are attacking the base without anti-air. There is some bug at work and people are exploiting it.
Where are you?
I'm learning, but I'll probably get strafe because the anti-air is doing nothing. This is the most annoying bug in the history of the game. They keep improving the game with every update. I'm not getting angry at the games, not to respond to what you were saying. Not at the games, at the companies that make them. It's them that are making me angry. They really don't want me to enjoy their games for some reason.
I think that too much of any game is like you get sick of it after a
No,
while.
no, I don't care for me because for me it's a different thing. It's no longer gaming. It's VR gaming and it's better. I could play these games forever, but they no longer work. Okay,
There are some games I could play forever. I mean, I play Rocket League and I just can't get enough.
Rocket League. I play it on the Switch sometimes.
I've got the PC version.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
not
it.
that good at it. I'm only in like Silver League, but I'm not.
You will probably be better than me, and I always thought I was good. I don't know why. Just doing the goals in standard matches for me it's fun enough. I don't know. Never been serious about it.
Do you play like competitive mode?
No, absolutely. No, I know nothing about it. I play it from time to time, casual game. On the Switch, it was my go-to online game together with Splatoon. Either that or Splatoon, because it's portable. You have it on your hands when you want to do a match.
Rocket League is really really weird. Depending on whether I can concentrate, I'm either like really good or really bad.
You will probably be much better than me. I'm not sure I can even be called competitive in that game, but I can do my goals.
I've got into gold in a few seasons. Like they reset the competitive rankings every like 3 months or something.
They do that. Okay, so it's like Hearthstone.
I got into gold a couple of times, but like right now I'm in silver 3, which is just below gold. And
I've never been much into stats myself. The moment I start to pay attention to stats, I have less fun with the game. So I tend to not even go to website.
People try and play a bit more seriously in competitive, so like people aren't just dicking around.
To tell you the truth, I hate any kind of people that take the game too seriously. I've had bad experiences with them because I absolutely don't take it seriously. I try to be competitive. I try to do my best, but even when I'm very good at something, it just comes from the instinct and experience. I don't like the people that say, put effort every day, listen to your superiors, do this and that. That's the reason that put me off Onward, to tell you the truth, because it's a bit too immersive. You have these people that act like military sergeants, basically, and I hate these people. And to be scolded by someone that you never met on the internet, you actually see him gesturing to you like you're in front of him, completely kills the experience for me. In fact, I don't know how soon I'm go to play Onward again. It's very full of that kind of people that I personally dislike. But also I dislike, for instance, playing competitive Counter-Strike, even when I played it all the time, and I got very good at it. The mindset that you find in these matches, like people constantly criticizing and scolding others, I cannot stand them. And that's the reason I don't play competitive anything. Maybe I'm competitive, but I don't...
But like certainly for Rocket League, in non-competitive, you just find people bumping you all the time and playing really badly. Competitive seems to get rid of that. I don't take it super seriously, but like the standard of play is just like people aren't messing around, if you see what I mean.
I see what you mean, and I also understand it, because there was a game where actually I was playing through the rankings because it was the only way to play. I played a lot of Hearthstone for a time. Never enjoyed World of Warcraft myself, but the card game was good. For a time. Now it's shit, but it used to be good. And when you were on the low ranks, you encounter all these people using, they call them meme decks, the decks with the annoying cards that go by luck and all that. And you only found the more interesting matchups when you actually rose through the ranks. It's typical of these games. Also beat 'em ups. I also played fighters. I was pretty good at Street Fighter 4. Now I'm pretty good, probably at Samurai Shodown, the one for the Switch. I would call myself pretty good. Probably it's the best I've been a fighter for a long time, because it's simple. It doesn't have a high skill ceiling. It's more based on the strategy minute by minute of it.
Which game is that?
Samurai Shodown. It was supposed to come out for the PC. Then Google bought the license for their stupid streaming service, and so it never came out. And actually, it came out for the Switch. I bought actually the Japanese version. I've been playing it for several months. I love it more than I loved any other fighter game for the longest time, because it's like the old ones. It's based on the actual strategy of it and not the learning of combos and the like. The execution. I would love to stream that. In fact, I was thinking to buy a streaming card. What's the name? Video capture card just for streaming that game from the Switch.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
I found an enemy bomber.
I'm attacking a fighter close to our base. Unfortunately, the fact that I'm using stealth ammo is making it a bit hard. But I think I'm hitting him. Yeah. Strangely, it doesn't die. Come on. It's a hurricane. Doesn't want to die. Oh, finally. What the hell? Okay, I guess I got a land. Yeah, I got a fuel leak. That thing attacked before I could react, but then I killed him, so it's all good. Got a land at this point. I'm doing very short sorties. I take off, I kill something, and then I go back to the ground. Because I get damage, and so kind of keep to the air. But it's a good start, I guess. 2 kills, 1 assist. We'll see. No, okay. If you want to do World of Tanks, I actually can invite you with a special code. I used to do it for all my friends, trying to get them into the games. I think it gives you a pretty good advantage for the start. It should give you some more credits to spend, but I think it's much easier to grind now. They've put in a lot of systems, daily missions, challenges that make your progress much faster. It used to be that even reaching tier 4 was a great accomplishment. Now it's the easiest thing. Everyone plays at the higher tiers. It's not a dead game yet. It's very old, like this. It's very old, but it's still got its player base. There's not really anything like it. It's a fun game, really.
Crashed into this bomber. Oh man.
It's something that happens often in this game.
It was a player,
It's
though.
like the sky is smaller than Sturmovik. The map is smaller. You fly lower. Everything is much closer to everything else.
I noticed planes seem to be slower in this game. Like you close on planes much slower. You know, when you close.
I don't know. To me, it always felt the opposite. Like here, it's faster than Sturmovik. I don't know, but I know what you mean because I always felt the inverted. Maybe it comes from the sense of scale. The sense of scale in this game is worse than Sturmovik. Everything seems small. It's like you're playing above a diorama, so to speak. Sturmovik feels more real in that respect by far.
This game, it feels like you're looking at like toy planes.
Absolutely, it's what I meant as well. But then again, if you look inside the cockpit, it's better here. Like if you turn around and look at your seat in Sturmovik, it looks like it's 4 meters tall. I don't know. Everything is bigger, even the inside of the plane. Whereas I remember the first time I got into the plane in this game, thinking, but so it's that small when you're inside of it. The coolest thing with VR at first is noticing the scale of things. Feeling actually you're the real size of you. You're no longer looking at a picture or something.
The best thing about VR that I've encountered is the head tracking. Like when you move your head, it's 1-to-1. Like you're moving your real head, you know?
Yes, that's
having used like Track IR, which has got all kinds of problems when you move your head.
I can imagine. Like, I never used it.
This is perfect. You know, this is like, it's just like
how it should work.
Pretty much like sitting in a real plane. You move your head, and you can turn your head as quickly as possible, and it keeps up. You know.
Absolutely, that's the strongest aspect of it. But there are many.
I think that might be different for like an Oculus, where you don't have the lighthouses. Because I think the head tracking is a bit better on a Vive because you've got the external lighthouses.
No, the Oculus does the same thing. It's absolutely as good. I didn't try the new Oculus, the one without the sensor. Yeah, the CV1 has the sensor, okay. But also I tried Windows Media whatever, Windows Mixed, these ones. I tried it very briefly. It's got internal head tracking. The head tracking was just as good, absolutely. Only downside is that you have to keep the lights on in the room. No, for the tracking of the head, you see no difference whatsoever. The tracking of the controllers is worse because if you put your hands behind your back, of course they won't be tracked. Even though the new Oculus, from what I've heard, is very good on that respect. But inside out, I think it is. I mean, with the sensor on, it's very underrated. It's just as good. You don't notice actually any difference if you set it up right.
It worked well or not.
No, it's good. I've heard all the people speaking about the Oculus, and I believe them because even the Windows Mixed, I tried. I think the Dell one. No, it was the Lenovo one, which sucked as an headset in general, but the tracking was the only good aspect. It was just as good as the Oculus CV1.
I think that when they get good headsets with inside out, you know, and like good resolution, then those are the ones that will succeed because people don't want to put lighthouses up. You know, people.
But people suck at doing any kind of things. They will put the lighthouses wrong, and they will think that VR sucks. Yeah. That's the problem with it.
I mean, I did it right with mine. I like drilled holes in the wall and put them in opposite corners and got it.
Yes, that's also the stupidest thing. The Oculus CV1, you're supposed to do the same. They tell you to put the sensors both in front, and it's completely wrong. In that way, you only have front tracking. But if you put the sensors on the corner of the room mounted on the wall, like I did, you get the exact same result as the Vive. But no one freaking does it because it's not even on the manual. It's just something that people in the know do. And they keep trying to tell people to do it, but they still won't do it. And then they say, but Oculus only has front-facing tracking. No, Oculus tracks less like the Vive. It's the same extra thing. Only downside is that the sensor being attached to the PC are very annoying. You have 10,000 problems with the drivers. They constantly have to be reinstalled. It's a very annoying way to go that route. But for the matters of tracking, it's just as good as the Vive. Maybe the range is less. In any case, they
I-
went for the easiest route, but also that was a big mistake in my opinion. The problem is that Oculus stopped investing in PC VR, unfortunately. No one believes in the tech, it's the stupidest thing.
Yeah,
Only
Valve's
Valve
jumping now because
does.
no one else will.
No one else does. Unless Alex is a big success, this technology is gonna die. It's gonna die like in 2 years.
Well,
Even
that's
the
thing.
games I enjoy will stop working, and I started to noticing it, and it kills me. This in a year won't work in VR, in my opinion.
From what I've read, a lot of people have been buying VR headsets recently to get Half-Life.
Yes,
Alyx.
but it's still 1% of the entire
Yeah.
Steam user base. The problem is that developing modern games costs a lot of money. They won't do it unless they see the big
We
user base.
should see more VR games now that there are many more users, though.
But the type of VR games we see are indie games that just won't sell because they're
Yeah.
ugly, they look bad, they're short, they have no content. Simulators are a natural fit, but simulators are played by an even shorter, smaller player
Well-
base than that of people that buy headsets, so that's not going to be the way to the future.
Did you buy No Man's Sky? Because that's like a AAA game that's in
Yes,
VR.
yes,
and good
it's
and all that.
it's pretty fun for a time, but the game itself is very repetitive.
I
I
have-
played
I
it on
have-
stream for a couple of times. You want to play it together one day? It runs
I
like
haven't got
shit. Runs like shit, abysmal.
Yeah.
But I'm used by now. Everything runs like shit nowadays. So
I don't really want to buy it because apparently it's kind of not a great game.
it's nice for a time. Until you get bored, it's nice. It's like Elite Dangerous in that respect. In fact, there's similar
Yeah.
games in scope. You have the systems, the underlying mechanics are very, very good. The graphics is good. The ambition is immense, even superior to Elite Dangerous, probably because it's less realistic. But you can actually get out of the ship. You can build bases, go with vehicles. It's actually unlimited ambition. But the minute by minute gameplay is the same thing 10 times over. You
Well, I
enter
mean,
the ruins, you find the materials, you gather the stuff. It's like Elite Dangerous. You do the same
Right.
thing eternally.
One of the things is I really don't like the art style they chose for No Man's Sky. Like
The art style, a bit cartoonish. I know what you mean,
I
but
really don't like it.
the planets are rendered pretty well. It's interesting the way the landscapes, the randomized aspects of them with all the plants and the various minerals. It looks pretty cool. Also, it has a very scientific outset. It will surprise you because the physics of it, of course, is not on par with Elite Dangerous or really on par with anything. It's extremely bare bone. But the biological aspect and the way it plays into several tropes of science fiction is very well played out. Like everything has a Latin name that is made on the spot, completely randomly generated, even the single minerals. And they actually look like something that would have that Latin name if you have some basic understanding of biology and mineralogy. It's well made from that point of view. It's actually a much more intelligent game than people tend to believe. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just that the actual gameplay of it is gather resources, build the base, gather resources again and again, do the same stupid mission 10,000 times. But the game itself it's pretty smart. It's not bad. It's become this at least. It used to be bad. Then they upgraded it again. It's famous. It's the game that was actually back from the ashes because initially it was a catastrophe. In practice, it was horrible.
Yeah, I guess I probably got a bad sense of it because it did so badly at launch. You know.
No, but they stick to it. The problem was that it was the typical indie game, the typical ongoing service type of game that initially would have nothing, but then to be improved over time. But they sold it as a AAA game because it was bought by Sony. They started advertising everywhere that this was going to be.
I heard that it was pushed by Sony a lot,
And the guy that was in chief was a bit of an idiot. He was like that French programmer, not Peter Moulinot, that famously always overpromised and underdelivered. This guy kept saying, "You could do anything in my game. You could meet all the other players exploring the galaxy at the same time." That was an outright lie. The game didn't have multiplayer. He said that he meant, but the universe is so freaking big that other players will never meet one another. Like 2 hours since the game came out, two people were on the same planet. And they were saying, but we don't see each other. So did you say, was you bullshitting us? Yes, he was.
Yeah, I remember he famously said, "Oh, you'll never find another player."
Yeah, no, but they found each other in a second. So that it was badly presented. If it came out like as an indie Steam game and it kept evolving over time, it could have become a very big thing over time. I think it was good. It had the potential. And still people play it in any case. It has a bigger user base than most things that we play, probably. Certainly more than Stormwreck, maybe even bigger than this.
don't know whether it's bigger than Elite though. Elite's got a quite dedicated player base.
It's dedicated, but it's dying in my opinion. You go there, it feels like a dying game. Ever since our session, I played it only a couple of times and then stopped because it makes me sad.
Really doing much at the moment. It's just like they
stopped the community go. That's the thing. I don't find players okay. The universe is so big and all that, and in Elite Dangerous it's probably true. But that's not the only problem. You no longer see the company-generated content, the lore objective, and all that were actually pretty interesting. The match is over.
I think it's because they're focusing on other games, so they.
The Zog game is very important. That will be
it's
the
gone into,
way
like,
to
maintenance
success.
mode, I think, where they're not really doing much to it.
It's the stupidest thing because when they do anything with the game, it makes the news in gaming websites everywhere. Like when they added the Alien, it was like the game had just came out. They sold a lot of copies that day, and now they don't longer carry it. Exit the game and we'll find another match because this will.
If they could capitalize on the publicity and the goodwill that Elite's got, then the game could.
They are very dedicated players. They just don't care. Ready up.
Got the SM79.
Ah, nice. The SM79. What is that?
But it says that I have to purchase the previous model BR20.
Yes. Watch out if you buy anything. Don't end up with 0 credits or almost because we won't be able to spawn.
1092.
You have 1000?
I don't want to order that then. How do I get out of this screen? Because it won't let me escape.
Ask. Press ask.
It won't let me get out of it. Pressing escape, nothing happens.
You gotta research it then. You're actually supposed to research the plane. You have to choose the next plane you're going to research. Research the fighters first. They're more interesting to play. Go... I don't know. You have the C202, right? If you go down, you will eventually get the G55. That's a very good plane. Try to progress through that line.
Got C200 right now.
Yeah, research the C202 then.
Where's the research? C202.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
It's good, huh?
Oh, I can get that actually.
You can research it, or you can buy it.
Choose a crew, yeah.
Ah, you already unlocked it completely? Ah.
Yeah.
Put it into service in place of the Byron.
How do I?
Wait a minute. How's your money?
I think it's in research.
You're researching probably at this point. You put them into service after the screen, the briefing screen. The deb free test flight. Okay, you don't want to test flight it right now. Just
C202.
Hi Chris. Hey. It's the socks comment. I haven't had some for a while. Thank you. There was someone that always told me about wearing socks. Right. I don't know who he was. I don't remember his name.
Well.
No, don't go together with him and criticize me for this. Guys, you gotta accept it. Unfortunately, I'm the sockless gamer. What can I do?
I don't think about it now because I don't see you on video when I'm in stream. But if I was watching the stream, I'd be asking.
You'd be constantly. Well, I don't. I never did. What can I have? So, what are you doing? You bought the plane.
C202 in service now.
Good, nice. Let's try it. How's your credits? Watch out, don't run out.
2,387.
2,000?
Yeah.
We're in deep shit. I'm not sure you'll be able. I'm not sure you'll be able to spawn anything with 2,000. Let's try.
I think it should be alright.
Let's hope so.
You only need like 500 to spawn or something. Yeah, 686. It's fine.
Can you spawn?
Yeah.
Okay. Tutto okay. It's alright. Okay, I guess I'll spawn in Charlie 4.
You're slipping into Italian again.
Excuse me?
You're slipping into Italian again.
Yeah, Charlie 2. It's Italian.
Yeah.
No, I do. I do, because when I speak with an actual person, it happens. If I'm alone and, like, in character, being the streamer that describes what he's speaking, like he's having some strange psychology dysfunction, then I speak in English. But if I normally conversate, I tend to go to Italian, yeah.
It's funny. I mean, I don't speak enough other languages to do that, really.
It never happened to me. I never spoke English before I started streaming, actually. I always read English and maybe sometimes... wrote in English, but to actually speak it, it's kind of a new experience to me.
Did you learn it in school or something though?
No, absolutely. I learned it with video games. School was always useless for me in any aspect of life. Every single minute spent at school was useless. That was a bit of my strongest belief for my entire school life. Like I built my future on computer and foreign languages, and that never came from school.
Yeah, you're doing really well at English if you were never taught it properly. Then. You've learned it,
Thank
well
you.
enough.
No, thank you. Well, but it's been many, many years that I've been reading in English. Like I was
Yeah, yeah.
beginning of high school already. I was reading book in English. It's only that
But
I guess your pronunciation criticism is right because I don't know much about pronunciation. I didn't speak that often. Now
like
maybe
a lot of people say that it's a lot different to read a language and speak it. So you know, if you can speak it, then you're doing well.
it's not that different of a language from ours. I'm supposed to actually have studied Japanese and Korean as well at university, but these absolutely I cannot speak whatsoever.
Japanese is really different than everything
That's
else.
the
Really.
thing. No, indeed. I intended to learn it like English. That's the reason I went to study it in university, but unfortunately, no, it didn't work as well. That's not something you can learn naturally. You just gotta study it because if you don't know
Yeah.
the characters, you cannot even read them. It's not like you can guess by the context. You have no context unless you know the single characters, and this take a lot of time to study.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Japanese. I think you can work out like some of the characters if you understand like how they're
You
constructed.
can work out something, but not much actually. The problem is that Japanese is actually like English, using an alphabet that wasn't meant for it. The Japanese alphabet, well, it has
Chinese, isn't it?
well, first thing it has three alphabets, no? But the most difficult
Yeah.
to study one, the actual characters, they come from Chinese. And whereas in Chinese, one character has only one reading and one meaning, Japanese interpretation of characters depends on their context. Like you put it together with another character, it has a completely different reading
Yeah, I think that
and
the only
and
thing you can learn
meaning.
in Japanese is like hiragana, isn't it?
Yes, that's the syllabic
That,
alphabet, but it's used only
yeah,
for certain things. And you may have even all three alphabets in a single word. That's shittily
yeah,
complex.
yeah.
The actual grammar of it is not that difficult, probably on par with English. Italian
I
is
think
more difficult.
yeah, I've heard that like spoken Japanese is not difficult, but written it's like if you want to learn
It makes sense, yeah.
katakana, then it's like a nightmare.
The kanji, you're thinking about the kanji. The two syllabic alphabets are hiragana and katakana. Katakana is used for the foreign languages, and
Yeah,
hiragana for
kanji are bad.
the.
Yeah,
And then there's the kanji. The kanji are everywhere, basically. But you want to read a normal newspaper article, you need to know like 300, 400 kanji at minimum. You cannot do anything with. No, I said 200, probably 2000. You cannot do anything with just the syllabic alphabets. And
but
then
like,
probably the
like
difficult part for the grammar is the social aspect because Japanese is a very they call it a situational language. You have to understand your state in society compared to who you're speaking to.
yeah,
You're supposed to either honor him or humble yourself, depending on the.
there's a lot of things you just have to know.
You have to know unless you want to sound strange, and you will sound strange if you don't. Like even the present tense of the verbs. If you're speaking, if you're a woman or a young person, you're supposed to
Yeah,
use a tense. If you're a grown adult and you use that tense, you sound strange.
from
But
what I
then
gather, if you go to Japan, like as a white person, you'll look and sound strange just because they're quite racist. Like
they will never speak to you as a person on
they'll
the
talk to you
same level.
differently because you're white.
I saw a sketch online that really was on point. Like if you go to a restaurant in Japan together with a person that is Japanese and maybe you speak perfect Japanese, they will never speak to you. They will only speak to your fellow national member.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even believe for foreigners to be able to speak their language. They
Well,
don't care for it.
Very few people do it, so it would be quite surprising, I think.
Yeah, but even once you start to demonstrate your ability with it, you're like a strange beast of fiction. It's the thing. Unfortunately, they're a very close country. They're a bit backward. It's a culture that was developed through centuries of isolation, basically, for various reasons. Not all ideological. It's just on the edge of the world. So they made their own choices completely different from everyone else.
Yep.
They have some aspects that come from China, but even these are very much changed by the context. And in general, they're probably more backwards than even China. In some things, in some others not. They're very different cultures in any case. Korea is more similar, probably. Come on! I'm overeating, as always with this plane.
assist on that guy. Jesus. That's annoying.
I wish I had... I wish I had tracers. I'm actually shooting and hoping to it, but it's very based on luck like this.
Oh, for God's sake, I put my gear down.
Oops. That's a little problem.
Trying to call location and put my gear down.
I'm in a turn combat just above you. Oh,
Yeah,
finally I
I
made
see
it.
it. I see it, yeah.
With something, I don't know, it looks like a Spitfire
behind you.
possibly. I can easily follow in the turn, I'm damaging very slowly. No, I don't think it's a Spitfire now that I took another look at it. It's got squarish wings.
It's like 3 guys on it.
Yeah, but I cannot freaking hit the thing. Oh shit, do I
Everyone's
suck?
trying.
After this I might switch back to Tracer's ammo, because, yeah, apparently I suck with stealth gunnery. Ah, now it's your turn. We're all hitting this guy. Ah, now he's slowing down.
Okay, got him.
You got him?
I think so.
Oh, I think I scraped the other plane, but I didn't crash into it.
Oh shit! Oh man.
You killed it. Good, 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 good,
Yeah,
good. I got
if
the
wasn't
assist.
outside the mountain, I would have crashed into the ground.
I got the assist. It's good enough.
You see how I flew down the side of the mountain?
I kinda saw it, but also I scraped the plane, like I bumped into something, I wasn't damaged. That's not very realistic.
If it wasn't the side of a mountain, I would have gone into the ground there. So
Good, good,
quite
so
lucky.
it's all good. Moving to the objective. If you see in Echo 2 we have the objective.
But yeah, man. Other than BOS, like the 2 games I want to have a go at, I'd love to play Warzone with you, and I want to have a go at World of Tanks.
Warzone. Ah, Warzone. Well, let's play Warzone
yeah.
one of these days.
Cold-
Why
Cold
not?
Warzone. Yeah,
Why not? I want to try it.
I want to have a go at that.
I installed it yesterday before the afternoon session. Then we played
Yeah.
BOS. But you want to play it this afternoon? If you want to play that, we can go for that.
I want to play BOS this afternoon.
No,
I
me
reckon.
too, to tell you the truth. I was planning to play that.
But like sometime this week, maybe in the morning or something, we could play like Warzone or something like that.
I'm branching off into non-VR games. Monday morning, if it comes out, I will do Alex. If it comes out morning, afternoon, I will do it, I guess, Tuesday morning.
I've got a bomber here.
Yeah, I'm engaging. You're engaging too. Let's see if we can shoot it down. Right now, or I was targeted by it.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
now is your turn.
I'm getting targeted by it.
Unfortunately, it's pretty fast. It's going to be dangerous. Eye damage. Shooting. This guy has to put himself in the middle because, of course, everyone wants the freaking kill.
Oh shit!
And
Wing off, I think. No, I stalled or something, or someone hit me.
Oh,
I think
maybe
he
he
glided-
hit you. Maybe he hit you with the rear gun. I don't know. I think I killed
No,
it.
there was like a big bump.
No idea. It's going down. In theory, I should get the kill this time, but that guy might manage to steal it. Let's see.
Right, I need to have a piss. I'm gonna be back in a second.
Right. That's important. Did I get the kill? No, another assist. Well, that's freaking unfair. Let's go and land because it damaged my fuel. I have some leak and also low on ammo. Going to land at base and resupply and repair. Okay, I shouldn't have troubles to return. Actually, I have no damage on the normal silhouette of the plane, strangely enough. It doesn't even appear. I'm just leaking fuel. How's that?
Okay.
I'm returning to base.
Okay,
I'm returning to this base here. Gotta repair the plane. Even though it's showing no damage, but I am leaking fuel, so... And also low on ammo after the bomber interception. I got another assist, if you can believe it. It didn't count for a kill. I completely destroyed that thing. What the heck?
I got an assist on that bomber.
You got the assist too? We both did? Well, that's not too bad.
I
Then.
think I collided with you or something.
No, absolutely, because I'm completely...
Well, someone.
No, possibly the other guy. We was all very close to one another, but I'm undamaged. If you collided with me, I wouldn't be. I mean, if we collided to the point of you crashing, because yes, it happened the previous engagement without consequences for me, but neither for the other guy, I guess. I think I see you on the airfield runway. I'm coming to it. Once I touch down, I might go for a momentary break as well. Okay. Oh, you're flying the C202. That's a good plan. Watch out because it spins, huh? It's not easy to keep it straight.
Yeah.
It's a spinny plane. I will go with a Maki as well.
Oh, ooh.
What happened? No, wasn't me.
Oh, I damaged my landing gear.
Oops.
So I'll take off.
Okay. Be right back. 2 seconds at most. Okay. In any case, I'll probably have to start playing different games because I'm having less and less viewers. That was you landing. Okay, wonderful. I came just in time to witness it. That was amazing landing. Okay, the C202, I have 2 of these.
Yeah.
One is the EC version.
I wasn't flying right, so, you know, I was like, I better land because it's messed up anyway.
What happened? Why did you come back? There was some problem with the plane?
Yeah, the landing gear was damaged and the plane was like going to one side or something, so it was damaged.
Strange. Okay, I'm spawning the same airfield, even though it's under attack. We gotta be careful. But anti-air will work, I guess. I got the C202 as well, but a better version of it. I think the EC is the one with the cannons, presumably. Yeah.
They have the C205. That'll be like the best version of this plane, I think.
Yes, I have it, but it's rank 3, above this.
Yeah, I bet that's a good plane to fly.
It is, but it's very difficult to control. It's like the Mustang. As soon as you slow down, it spins like crazy. This does it also, watch out. It's not easy to...
They say the C205 is like comparable to a Mustang in combat.
You were telling me about that, and in fact the game depicts it correctly then, because difficult to use but powerful if done right.
So is it that one over on the left?
I wouldn't go that way because it doesn't look that interesting. I don't know. It's not where we're going to find the action. We should probably go to the actual objective right now. Flying straight from the airfield. But also the base is flashing. I don't know why. You were thinking that might be the bomber attacking the base.
I'm trying to see if there's any bombers that are...
No, there's not.
Like really high up.
These are the defenders. Don't care about it. Just they're just the AI allies of ours.
Oh man, I'm not going to get many points in this game.
Why? No. You actually have some points. Look at that. You have 1100. Same as me.
Like one kill and 1 assist.
I only have 2 assists. Well, it takes some time. This will last a while. It's just begun. It's not that bad of a beginning.
Saying our victory is near or whatever.
Ah, no, don't care about that. It says it as soon. No, that's just propaganda, basically. Don't trust him. He says it to psych the troops. It's not real. We just began. You have to look at the bars on the top, the blue and the red bar. Basically, we're in a very slight advantage, but it's just begun.
Where are you going to?
The objective, Epsilon 2, Echo 3, Echo 2. Yeah, objective A. It's close to the airfield. Watch out, the enemy airfield. We gotta be very careful not go too close to the airfield. Should be able to keep up. We have the same plane. Let me see where you are. I think you're on my left, possibly. Call your location. Yes, that's you then. Okay, perfect. I would fly a B-Tiger with this plane, huh? It's not a Reggiani, this doesn't turn like a Reggiani. It turns pretty well, in any case.
Oh shit, I'm going to the side.
Yes, it also has a strong torque. You might trim it, maybe.
It changes all the time with the throttle. Difficult to do that.
Yeah, in fact, probably I just do it with the control. We should turn a bit to the right. We're not heading straight for the jetty right now.
It's flak.
Possible. You're flying above a battle, I think. Or no. But climb more. You're very low. Ooh.
Yeah, I noticed the pilot model for the throttle is wrong. Like most of them don't hold the throttle lever. It's just like the hand is just kind of next to it. Like he should
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's not very realistic.
He
Yeah.
should have his hand closed around it, but he doesn't really hold it. It's just like an open hand that's near the lever.
That's
Like,
very stupid.
That's not how
You're
you hold
right.
something.
Not only that, one of the fingers goes right through the levers if you look at it.
Yeah, it's just wrong. Yeah.
They didn't care much for it.
It's
Consider that VR was added later for the game. Many people won't even be looking inside the cockpit.
Yeah, I'm guessing when the game was designed, they didn't think people could like lean in and look at the hands and stuff.
No, absolutely. It was adapted for VR, but it was adapted well in my opinion. Okay, I have a big bomber underneath me, right here, and it's an enemy, and I'm diving for it right now. Yeah! I think I
Right.
broke a piece of the wing. I just called. Look at the
Call
map.
again. I can't see you. Okay.
The bomber is going down. Okay, that was a
Oh.
good interception.
Did you survive?
Yes, absolutely, undamaged. Only
Right.
shot a couple of rounds.
I thought you meant your wing had come off or something.
No. His wing did.
Oh,
No, it wasn't ironic. It was the truth. I was speaking the truth this time.
in this game, like it's like in BOS, like the bombers will wreck you if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's true. They can be very dangerous. It's always 50-50. Unless you do it
Yeah.
perfectly. Or you're lucky with it, like I was now.
You gotta be careful. I was surprised. Like I thought, oh yeah, bombers easy kills. You know, when I first played this game.
No, but it's not an easy game. You should now have understood it. It's not easy in any aspect. Probably just as hard in BOS in different ways.
Simulation mode is I imagine arcade mode is like
No, arcade mode
Pretty chill.
is another game. It's different. It's a deathmatch arcade game that you play for fun. It has the same planes. The only positive aspect is that you can unlock the planes for this mod as well in arcade mode. So basically you play two different games, but they still work for the unlock. Since it takes so long, it's actually very handy to have as a function. Next time I play the Swedish, it will be on rank 2, because I will have done it in arcade.
Did you try the there's like a Doom 3 VR mod?
Yes,
Did you
it's
try
pretty.
that?
It's pretty good. It's nice.
Pretty good. Like you can hold the flashlight in one hand. You can.
Yeah, it's actually better than the game was back in the day. Yes.
Did you try the Doom 1 one? I found like the original Doom. for
No,
VR.
that I didn't try. I have the Serious Sam games, which also are good. All the FPS work pretty well in the VR.
Try it, but you'll be feeling sick within like 5 minutes because it's so fast.
The movement is
It feels
fast.
wrong. It
No, I
feels
know. I
wrong.
tried it with Serious Sam. That was one of the last games that made me feel sick.
Yeah.
After a while, it does.
Try that Doom, but it's like just be aware that it's just like you're not gonna feel good.
I think you have someone on your tail. If I'm looking at you, they seem like two planes coming for you, shooting at a distance.
Yeah, I think there's something coming up with 6.
Okay, I'm above it.
6.
This is a twin engine. Yeah.
Single engine on me.
Okay, the twin engine is also chasing you, and I killed it. And now I'm going for the single engine.
Cool. I
One
want single
less.
engine now.
Okay, here's the single engine. You're on
Now,
his
but I
tail
don't think I
now.
need to go past me.
Yeah, I missed, I think.
I think it's because I did a weird turn or something.
Yes, and there's a lot of strategy. Mind gains work.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got him.
Yeah, kill them
Yeah,
both.
he's on fire.
I
Oh, shit.
completely clear your tail. Watch out for the base. You're spinning.
Nearly
Watch
span
out
out.
with this plane. It's very easy to finish. End up spinning.
Yeah, I was like,
Unfortunately, we didn't win air supremacy because they had the number advantage until like we completely wrecked them 1 second later. But unfortunately, they already had won the objective. This is the stupidest thing ever.
I was pointing straight down and like started to spin. I was like, shit.
Watch out also if you increase the power suddenly. If you're slow, it's going to spin.
Yeah, okay.
If you pull the stick too much, it's going to spin. In general, going slow make it spin. It's like the Mustang in that respect. Initially, I hated this plane. Then
In general, it's gonna spin.
it's gonna spin. It's a spinny plane. It doesn't spin. You see what I mean? This plane doesn't spin in Sturmovik. Now I don't know who's right, but actually the flight model is harder here than in Sturmovik.
I don't know.
You never flew it much in Sturmovik. I was flying it yesterday in Sturmovik. In Sturmovik, it's much easier to fly both this and the Mustang. Absolutely. It doesn't have the torque effect. I think the torque effect is realistic.
Enemy here. I'm on his tail.
Okay, I see you coming your way. Watch out, you're still close to the base. If you turn right, don't go straight, you might be destroyed by anti-air. Ah, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You're closer. Okay. And Iger. You're diving? No, he's diving. You're diving after him. Okay.
Both diving.
I will cover your 6, huh? I'll leave this kill to you and cover your 6. Let me see what happens. He's stalling. It's a P-39.
Stalling.
Okay, you're following.
Everyone's stalling.
Everyone's stalling. Oh, we have the two. That guy Douglas just got killed by a couple of AIs. I think coming from the base. I'm now following the AIs. I hope I have the energy. You're still on that guy?
Yeah, but I'm not really hitting him.
Watch out because we are. Okay, I'm stalling. I shouldn't have followed them. And now I'm spinning, of course, because this is the Maki. But these are
Didn't spin this
AIs.
fight.
These are
something's on my
the
tail. Oh,
AIs.
that's you, I think.
No, I don't know. I don't see you. Watch out.
You
It
make a
might
noise
not be
sound
the.
like bullets.
It might not be me. I'm now turning with one of these things, the AI one,
Yep, there's something on my tail. Shit.
which is kind of turning me, and these are both on me now. I have two enemy AIs on me. Let's see what happens. I mean, I won't turn as well as them, but they're just
My engine's
AIs.
dead. Oh,
Oh, damn it.
pilot knocked out.
Damn it. I should have
Shot
gone
up by
for
AA?
that guy. He was an AI, the one that killed you?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
they can be stronger.
No, not AI, AA, artillery.
Ah,
Anti-air.
anti-air. Okay.
That sucks.
I just saw your name, in fact. Yeah, I was thinking, but there's someone from the She Squadron in the match. Yeah, of course, it's you. You're in the She Squadron.
Yeah, I saw someone else from Sky Hunters in a match that we were in.
There's plenty of them. It's a big squad. You see how he recruits them, and like the first time he sees a person, come to my squad, so it's easy to make it big. And so, of course, there's plenty. Okay, I'm still alive and I no longer know where these two AIs went. Strange. Did they spin and crash? I don't know. I see some smoking things on the ground. There's a contact here. I'm still alive.
Take me a long time to get to you.
Okay.
Go to,
I'm still at the same place. I'm intercepting something. It's a friend. Okay.
go to E4.
E4.
Yeah, there's like two objectives. Well, there's two like targets there.
These are the targets for the ground runs. We don't care much for them basically, but there could be enemies overlooking them, I guess. These work like the targets from Sturm. They're just stationary and the bombers go for them.
Well, yeah. Okay. Is that the right place to go, or
It might work. In general, when you have no objective, you go to the middle of the map.
Apparently
We have a destroy the bombers objective in B3. Actually, the bombers are above our bases. I see them. We could go for these. Destroy the enemy surveillance aircraft. We could go for the surveillance aircraft in D4. I'm not that far from it. I could go for it.
You say B3, like Bravo 3?
Yeah. Bravo 3 has bombers. No, Bravo 3 has the bombers, yeah. Right above the bases.
I see some aircraft up high.
They must be them. It's in general a big formation. AI controlled bombers. They were good points.
Yeah.
It's just as valuable as killing a player.
It looks like there's 2 people going after them though already, so they might already be gone in a minute.
Probably you won't be able to catch them if you're down low. I might be able to
I'm
catch
not
them
low.
if they come back my direction, because they're in friendly territory. After bombing, they will come here. Watch out for the escort. They're going to have a couple of escort fighters that might dive for you. They tend to do it, and they actually the AI fighters have good aim. They can kill you. Huh? It's not a small threat. But then they do something stupid, no? After they dive, if the bombers went far, they're going to turn back for the bombers and basically completely forget about you, and it's a free kill. So it can be actually useful to pull away the fighters.
Yep.
And then go after them.
Do they forget about the bombers, do they?
They forget about until they suddenly remember, and then they actually forget about you, and you can kill them.
There's only 2 of them left.
Bombers.
Yeah, one of them's going down, I think.
Probably the problem for them was the anti-air, because in theory they shouldn't go close to our base. It was a mistake of the mission generation algorithm. The base is going to destroy them after a while. It's actually good for us. It will increase our blue bar, or better yet, decrease the enemy red bar.
Me, I want to kill.
See if you can get them. Probably you might get the fighters more easily, because they will die for you, unlike the bombers.
There's 2 guys here, and they're just taking them all, unfortunately.
I'm intercepting some shape down low by the coast. Let's see what it is. It might be a player returning in his territory. Let me see what we have.
I think these are the escorts.
I'm dying too flat for it. Okay, but it's a friend. It's a Stuka.
There's like 2 planes here. I think that's the escort.
If they're fighters, they will be.
2 high. I don't know what they are. They're far away.
I'm actually going to these bombers now, because they're probably closer than the surveillance aircraft. What does it say? Destroy the bombers in B4. They move to the east, strangely. I see the entire formation. There's a lot of planes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 planes I see.
B4?
Where are you? Call the location. Okay, they should be above you. More or less.
Maybe they're below me.
How high are you? Wait.
Quite high.
2005. I am...
2,400?
Okay. They should be below you, yes, because they're same altitude for me, and I'm 1600.
Which part of B3 are they in?
Which part?
Like
Probably
the top or the
it's
bottom?
to the right, I guess, to the east of it. Strange that you don't see them. There's plenty of them, a lot of planes.
I think I'm looking in the wrong direction.
Try to point your nose downward, because if you are the shape up there, like I think, you will be above. That's the reason you don't see them.
I see like 4
If
planes.
if I'm looking at you, they will be behind you. They're actually doing combat now with the base defenders.
Oh shit. The AA just hit
Turn toward the base. The AA hit you. How is that possible?
Yeah, my plane's like listing to the left now. Fucking, what the hell?
How is it possible? You're not above any base. You're actually in friendly territory.
Something hit me.
Could be a plane.
No.
I'm going for the bombers now. I have them in front. Turn towards the base. You cannot miss them. I'm here. Turn towards me even. And then you'll see them. I'm very close. They're diving right now for the objective. And they will destroy it.
I'm with the escort now, apparently.
Call location again. Okay, you're in the middle of it. Are you in combat?
Kinda.
Okay, then you found the targets. Okay.
I just lost what I think was an enemy.
I'm diving for what I think is a bomber. Doing the dive bombing. Yeah, but they're already smoking. I think these are... Okay, that's a player. It's you. I just saw you passing over me. I'm diving for what could be one of the
2
bombers.
planes up high behind you.
Unfortunately, I'll be very fast. No, it's friendly. Okay. Yeah, turning for them
That's
then.
friendly. This might be an enemy then, because I don't know what this is.
The bomber formation is here, so the majority will be enemies probably.
Where you gone?
I'm here and pointing east, where I see the 3 planes up high. Actually coming to one of them right now. Let's see if he goes for the head-on. Another thing, the bots love the head-on. That's you, okay, never mind. If you see a plane coming for the head-on, don't give it, because often it will be a bot with perfect accuracy and it will kill you.
What about these? If you go like directly west, It's like two.
Wait, I see two things down below, right underneath us. I'm checking this first. Diving for one right now, like deck altitude. It's a friend. So the other one will be as well. The base is still flashing, so yes, the shades you're looking at right now. What does it say? Destroy the bombers C3 now. So they moved again. They would be to our southwest. Okay, we just passed one another. I guess there's not many left because normally
C3.
you would see more planes that direction. There's two or three. It must be these. But now they're very tall and away. I don't know if we can catch them.
C3. Okay, I'm heading for C4 really.
Now they're still in C3, yeah, but it will be difficult to catch them. Once they're going away, they just go straight and high, and you never catch them.
Yeah.
It's probably impossible. Let's just head towards the center of the map. Unfortunately, we arrived too late. I have two contacts to 11 o'clock even. I'm actually turning to them now. Pretty fast. They will be probably the friends that I spotted earlier, but you never know. I am here. The base is flashing after all, huh? It might be that it's an enemy. Let me see. First the one above, as always. Someone diving, and this looks like combat. To the west of me. I'm not sure where you are. I'm in C3 right now. Okay. So I might be homing on you actually. And I'm now turning for something higher. In fact, yeah, it's not you. Let me see. Should be able to check the label. Maybe not follow it.
I'm at altitudes 800.
Okay. There's a lot of movement very close to our bases. In fact, they're all flashing. Okay, this was a friendly. I don't know, it's a very strange situation.
G3?
Nah, it's the convoy. With the fighter you cannot really damage it. You need a ground attacker at the very least. Destroy the enemy convoy.
I would go back to the air bases because whatever these are, I'm not catching up with them.
No, it's not worth it, in fact. No, let's just head to the center of the map. We will find some fighters to hunt. I would go around Delta 3, probably. Let me see. Okay, I see tracers. To the south, it must be on the edge of Delta 3. And apparently a friend has been shot down by a bot.
I'm in B3.
B3, okay, you're behind me. The bases are still flashing, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm going to the B3 base, so I'm just going to see if I can figure out what anything is.
There must be something bothering them. It's not ground units. Okay, I'm coming to the shape that I saw shot down one guy, but it should be a friend. Yes, it's Douglas with the Regione 2001. Where is everyone? There's plenty of players, but I see no one. Almost feels like a Sturmovik match like this. To fly and not find anything.
At least you can see things in this. I mean,
in my opinion, spotting for real must be in between the two. I think Sturmovik makes it a bit too hard. This makes it too easy in turn. But I'd rather prefer this solution than the other, because Sturmovik is sometimes frustrating. Like, I don't believe a trained pilot could look at something and completely lose sight of it in the next second. It happens in Sturmovik all the time.
You need to keep sight of things all the time in Sturmovik.
You lose it instantly, like you're tracking something, you're not even that far. You look away 1 sec and then it's gone. It feels a bit suspect.
So the game does have an alternative visibility mode, but most servers don't have that turned on. I'm not really sure.
But I mean, we do the plane spotting in real life. When you see a plane passing overhead, even an airliner, big as it is, will be so high, and yet you can easily avert your eyes and find it again, unlike Sturmovik. It's impossible. It's not that bad. It cannot be.
Well, they are flying high enough that they contrail, so that's one thing.
Yes, but even without the contract, sometimes I don't know. I never really thought about it in
low
real
level,
life.
I think it'd be more difficult to see a commercial airliner, but they're quite big.
You're saying maybe at low level it might be harder. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Perhaps standing against the ground. Yeah.
Just because would have no contrail.
I never did it. That's something I never did. So probably you might be right. They were also camouflaged, counter shaded.
I mean,
it was different.
Airlines like bright colours and shiny metallic paint, you know. So
that's a factor. Easier. You're right.
They're very reflective compared to like World War II painted planes, which are tiny and also painted in matte colours.
Now that you speak about it, I guess you got a point.
But I know what you mean though. Like even with all that stuff, it should be easier to spot planes in IL-2 than it is.
In my opinion, yes.
And it's like like you say, when they get to a certain distance, they just disappear.
It's ridiculous.
Which is wrong. That's clearly not right. Planes don't just disappear when they get past like 500 meters away from you.
You only catch the shimmering of the wings, sort of like that. It's a bit exaggerated.
Sometimes in IL-2, I'll be following a plane, it'll disappear, then it'll get a bit
further, you have it right in front of you. You have it right in front of you, and it's gone.
It disappears and then reappears, and it's like, well, I'm pretty sure that I could have seen it.
It's like it's simulating a pilot that doesn't see well. In practice, you're a pilot with view problems.
Yeah, like a short-sighted pilot. Which obviously wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be getting into a plane if you were short-sighted.
No, that was the most important thing I did for combat in that era, to have 20/20 view.
Feels like the pilot that took the glasses off or something, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, I shot this guy down.
Nice. It's you doing combat. Yeah. Okay.
Man, I one-shotted that guy.
Okay, like, we're all here, all friendly. Let's go to the objective at this point. Nice kill.
That was beautiful. I must have hit something.
You got 2 kills and 1 assist now. That's not bad.
Nice. Should we go to A? Because we're quite close to A.
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying that. We also have friendlies.
What's that big clump of planes to the northeast from where I am?
Let me see. Northeast. Nix is back. He's still having network problems, but he'll be watching.
There's like 4 or 5 planes.
Cover the surveillance. Win air supremacy. Protect the allied convoy. Destroy the enemy convoy. They might be all players. There's no multi-plane objective. They might be clustering.
Like northeast. Yeah.
Northeast, you're telling me? Yes, they're the players fighting for the objective, I guess. Let's try to butt in, I guess. I just called my location, heading for a couple that are in combat. But also, never mind that, there's one to my right, which seems to be putting himself into alignment.
Is he on me or something?
I don't see you right now. I'm turning to this thing, right on top of the A that marks the objective, basically. And it's a friend, okay. The friend that was with us, Henkel 100. Then I'm turning again northeast. I see the big quantity of planes that you were saying. Yeah, now they're north of me. I am here. You're engaging them. Where are you? Call location. All the way there. You're out of the objective zone. You should head south.
But there's like 6 planes here.
Really? So outside of it?
Yeah.
Then we're not looking at the same planes, because the one I'm looking at are closer.
I don't know what they are and what they're doing.
Watch out, because I'm on a different location. Okay, this is flat. We would be supposed, in theory, with fighters to stick in the objective zone right now to capture it. It will also be worth points.
This
and
is too
credits.
Whatever's going on here.
Okay. I'll try to reach you once we cap. It will take a few seconds in any case. We have the over...
maybe the combat's over though, because now there's no more firing. I don't know what's going on. So one just crashed.
I absolutely don't see what you're speaking about. To me, it's empty sky.
That's a friendly.
You're all the way back to the base now. We captured in any case.
Yeah, go back.
Maybe they were friendly planes if they're so
go
close.
South. No. They were firing at each other, so there was definitely an enemy.
Got intercepted some bomber.
So
Who knows?
one went down. You know, I don't know whether it was a bomber or something else.
Okay, let me see what I have here. Well, I'm coming your direction now because the objective zone is completed. And the enemy is strangely inactive. It's not like
going
it's an
south.
empty team. There are players, but I just don't find them.
I'm
We
going south 'cause
we should meet one another. I'm coming north from the south of you.
there's like 5 planes south.
Yeah, it's me and mostly friendlies. I don't know about every single one, though. There's
Where
plenty
are
of
you?
planes.
Yeah, I think that's probably one. You're one of them.
Yes, I am. I'm in the middle of a big formation of friends. The ones that capture in practice.
Come on, give us an objective. Give us something to do.
We have to destroy the convoy, but that will need a change of plane, and also it's extremely inconvenient. It's behind a cluster of enemy base, practically impossible to get, so leave it there. And in this condition, I would stay high and maybe overlook the ground objectives, just in case a bomber might try to sneak on them. It's a good way to get some kills.
We could go to D2.
The battle also, yeah, that's another hot spot. Let's do that. I see something moving in the direction of D2, by the way.
I see several planes.
There are.
Just don't know what they are.
Looks like combat. Two are chasing one another.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Ooh, I only have 30 minutes of fuel. I won't be able to stay there for long.
Well,
Probably I should be returning already, but I want to participate in a single combat at the very least, but then I'll have to return. I'm pushing it a bit with 12 minutes of fuel. Nah, but it's okay. The map is small. Ah, so now you can follow the stream. Nix says he has a bit of a better net. Yeah, we
there's
have...
one guy, there's this one guy with 7 kills.
It happens.
Yeah, he must be good.
Oh, but you can get them in this game, huh? Usually, you see people with above 10 kills all the time. It depends also on your luck, because you have to find yourself in the right situation.
There's definitely a fight going on here. I think there's one enemy. No,
Yeah?
that's friendly.
I don't know. There is a fight in any case, and there's many planes. Let me see. James Silver, to answer Nix, is a bit low, but he managed to spawn, so it's okay. He also bought the C202, you bought it now, right?
Yeah.
So he's
I'm flying
again
it
low, but we had
I'm
enough
flying it
money.
most of the session.
We had enough money to spawn, so it's all good. He seems to be liking the plane, right? The C202 is a pretty good.
That guy down?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I did, but you should have the assist
Ah.
because you definitely damaged it. Let me see. You have 2 assists now. Yes.
Okay.
I shot it because otherwise the other friend would have. So better that he stays in the family, no? Yeah, this guy wants to go for the convoy, but it's very difficult to reach behind the bases.
Are there any enemies here? I don't really see them.
Apparently, I don't know where the enemy team is. Many disconnected now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, there's only 2 players left, 2 real players left.
What?
Yeah, and 2 bots. That's not the best. No.
Are
The
you
old
sure?
days-
Because I see plenty of guys on the enemy team. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9.
So the grayed out disconnected, no?
Oh,
The
it's like
one
1, 2,
with the
3,
single
5.
name that has a what's the name of the
They're all bots.
capital letter, no? The simple name with the capital letter. That's the sign
3
of
bots,
a
2
bot.
players then. Yeah.
No, Folly66 is a player name, I guess.
Okay.
But we only have 2 players, 3 players and 2 bots. Maybe others might connect, I don't know. It's a
That's
strange
alright.
match.
I'll kill bots.
It's okay, no? It's just as good as I said for the grind and also for the score. So
Good for my points, yeah.
yeah, no, good practice.
Yeah.
Good for the grind. It's not a bad way to play, not necessary. Very unlike Sturmwick, you see, it's much more playable in many respects. Protect the allied attackers. More objectives respawn. Maybe we can attack the enemy attackers.
What are these, like, 4 planes over here?
And Nix is saying the enemy got demoralized. Indeed.
So
we made them run away.
North of here, there's like 3 or 4 planes.
Yeah, let's check them out. It looks interesting. Let's do it. I'm right after you and above. I'll cover you, I guess.
Pushing the plane a bit too hard doing this though.
Watch out for the temper. I still have 9 minutes of
Yeah.
fuel. After we check this, I'll have
Oh
to
shit,
go.
I've only got 1 minute 30.
That's even worse. Did you change the fuel amount when you spawn? That's
I don't
important
think
to
I
do.
did.
Uh,
It's
watch
alright,
out.
I'm going towards the base anyway, so
No, me too. Keep going all the way to it and
I'm
land,
just
I
gonna
guess.
climb and then hope maybe I can glide to the base.
No, but in 1 minute you'll get there. It's not so far. The map is small in this game.
just glance at the field, it's like red, 1 minute 30. Shit!
It's less dangerous than you might think. You will be okay, I guess. I wouldn't be worried in your place. You're also very close to the base, even closer than me.
Is that it? Down there?
It's very difficult to see. Rely to the map because the texture sucks and it's almost
Is it
impossible.
though? Like right in front of me?
You will see it at the very last time. I don't expect to be able to see it. Ah, now we see it. Yes, you're ready for it. Okay. Actually, this one was pretty easy to
Flaps
see.
inoperative.
What happened?
My flaps are broken.
Ah, you lowered them too soon. It's very easy to break the flaps. Watch out.
Damage.
Try to flare. Yeah, Nix is saying you were a bit too high. Slow down a lot before lowering the gear. You might break it.
I can't.
Oh shit. This doesn't sound good.
I'm gonna have to go around.
Go around. You
Yeah,
haven't
okay.
lowered the gear yet, right?
I'm gonna leave the gear down because it's slowing me down.
Okay, as long as it doesn't break, it's okay.
Still doing like 300 kph.
You have to flare very aggressively on your
Yeah.
your approach
I
in this game.
noticed.
Because
I
everything
can't, 'cause
is
there's no flaps.
smaller, even the distance is small from the combat zone to the airfield.
45 seconds of fuel left. Oh god.
No, you'll be okay. It's enough. It's enough. Don't worry.
Got like 1 attempt to land basically.
Don't lose your cool because it's easy to make mistake. If the gear is already down, you should be okay. I'm looking at you. We cannot colliding one another. Right? The collision is disabled. Don't worry about that.
Mm.
On the ground, you cannot impact any
Oh,
pilot.
bloody propeller.
Propeller,
Yeah.
something happened with the gear, but you seem to be okay. It shouldn't come for a crash. It shouldn't come for a crash. You should repair. It's
Yeah.
okay.
The wing came off.
The wing came off is bad.
Yeah.
Is it saying crash?
I don't think so.
Then let it repair. It might take a bit more. Thank you, Nix. I'm trying to help.
No, I despawned. The plane was damaged.
You couldn't. It can't afford that. Too bad.
How long is left in the round?
Quite a bit. Let me see. 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. 2 hours and 10 minutes. In theory, the enemy objectives should deplete faster. You want to go to a different map?
Well, I'm just thinking, what can we do here? I mean, there's
It's a bit
There's
empty.
nothing
I
like that,
agree. Let's go. Let's go
got to
somewhere.
different match.
Only problem is we have to find one with it. We can always rejoin if we cannot find
Just
it.
return to hangar.
Yeah,
yeah.
return to hangar. Okay. We
Hold
can
on.
still rejoin. Our score will still be there if we cannot
Wait,
find
wait, wait,
anything. I came
you
out.
still have you still
I-
have crews ready to fight.
No,
I-
it doesn't matter. Tell you, tell
It
him
says-
it's the same.
Oh yeah.
I got some slot machine reward. That's not bad.
So I got 5,000 silver now.
I don't know if he gives you immediately. He should give you when the match is ended. Not now, I think. You will be credited later. Ah, there's a winter standing guard battle. That's pretty cool.
Well,
But it's not that full. Huh?
yeah, I've got 5,094 lions.
Ready up quickly so I can join the match before it's too full. It's too bad. I could almost go with the Swedish, but unfortunately, these are Italian and Swedish.
I can research. I can get the 202 EC. I think.
No, this is Sicily. I wanted to go here.
I can get in the 202 EC.
Ah, I started. The EC is the one with the cannons.
I think so. Yeah.
It's better to start immediately because then otherwise we might have too many players on our side, and this is the only other very much worth it match because there was one in Sicily with 3 players. These are least is populated.
Okay, let's fly from.
I would go close from Stalingrad, the Delta 2. In theory, Stalingrad will have the action, I guess.
Delta 2, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I start with the Reggiane, though. I like the Reggiane more than the Macchi myself. Check your fuel. Put 45 minutes, I guess.
How do I check my fuel?
When you're spawning near the ammo... also the
20
ammo.
minutes.
Are you using normal ammo? You should change it. If you have default ammo, switch it to something else. Universal is certainly better. No, the plane is new, you won't have the others unlocked. But for the planes that you've been playing for a while, you might have better ammo. That's also important.
Offensive 7.7. 12.7.
Yeah, but you might have different types of ordnance. You have universal, air targets, ground targets, stealth. They make a lot of difference. You probably should go universal at first. They're probably the best all
There's
around.
tracers and there's oh, there. One's air targets. Okay, there we go.
Go for universal. Universal is better, I think. Right, Nix?
How do I change my fuel amount then?
You have... there's a drop-down menu.
Where is
Below
it?
the ammo, fuel amount, minutes. And you choose in base on minutes.
Oh, there we go. Fuel amount,
Mm.
45 minutes, yeah.
45 minutes. Universal ammo. You should do this always.
I took universal and air.
Because you have also cannons, so you could select 2 types of ammo, okay. Well, 2 calibers of guns in any case. That's important. Too bad I didn't say you earlier. It's my mistake. You should have known about it. They're way more effective. You will get many more kills with that. Okay. I see you rolling. Nix is telling us against Russian, watch out for the biplanes. I-15 and I-153 is a blight. Air target has tracers, usable for new starters also. Well, but universal ammo has trackers as well, no?
Where are we going to go then?
Let me see. Let me see the objectives.
Should we head towards like D3?
Protect the allied attackers. Cover the surveillance aircraft. E2, meaning basically the city of Stalingrad has our ground attackers friendly. Probably there will be some action there. We have
That's
a couple of bomber players in our team, but their AI is okay. So actually,
Maybe go to E3?
E3 sounds good to me. I see a lot of action in that direction. Many planes flying all over. This is a cold place, perfect for my Reggiane. That's already starting to overheat. This is a very warm plane.
The compass is weird in this plane. It's got like a magnifying glass over it.
I don't remember how it... maybe it's similar to mine, yeah. You're right.
It's got like a little glass
It's the
thing
same
over
compass I have, yes. I wonder why.
it. I don't think that's there in the BOS version of this plane, to be honest.
No, I don't remember
think
it
it has the
either.
glass.
I would have noticed. But it would be a different version of the plane, maybe. The one that got sent
Maybe.
to Russia. Hey, I see someone intercepting the ground attackers. I'm actually heading E2 now. Away from the front line. Because there's someone intercepting the ground attackers. It's time to bring one down before they go out of the map. Let me see.
Is it our ground attackers you're talking about?
Yeah. They completed their missions and they're going away. And I think I see a guy that is boom and zooming them. Possibly, we'll see.
I see a guy that's like contrailing or smoking, diving and climbing.
Possibly. I'm going for one in a steep climb. That's friendly. Okay. Then I think they already shot it down. The guy that was attacking them. No, never mind. I see traces. Yes. So I think I found the enemy. That should be the enemy attacking the ground attackers. Never mind. Then what the heck is happening? It's an enemy bomber using its turret to attack the ground attacker. He's going to have a bad surprise. He's going to have a bad surprise like real now. Yeah, and he's dead. What was it? An SB-2M. Orega Keiko. Unfortunately, he destroyed the Stuga before I could punish him. Oh, who's attacking me now? Him while he dies, I guess. I got hit. By what? Well, no damage in any case. I'm turning back toward the front line. I don't know where you are, but the base is still flashing, so there will be enemies. And also, I gotta stay aware. Someone is boom and zooming me, possibly. Doing a big contraire. There's 2 of them. I am here. I might be entering combat soon. Okay, perfect. Turning towards these 2 things that look so menacing. Yeah, right above us, 11 o'clock to where I'm pointing. Almost 12 o'clock now. But much above.
Yeah, I'm behind them. I'm gonna try and climb to get behind them.
We are above the base, it's doable. They could be just the base defenders now that I think about it, and the fact that they fly so high tend to make me think that. But I'm not so sure because it's been no, okay, base defenders. Base defenders. Don't
No,
care
one of them's firing.
Ooh, really? Shit. Thank you.
Yeah,
I was
to the right.
completely
Going
disregarding.
fast.
I think I'm looking at you now, possibly.
He's in
Ooh,
a left turn.
but we have a lot of things behind us. I just
Left
turned
turn.
180
He's
degrees.
diving.
I'm
One
not
is
sure.
dive-
Okay, I'm looking. Friendly, friendly.
Left turn, diving.
That's
He's in-
you, and you're pointing at the guy. I'm pointing at the
Yeah.
same guy. Okay. Doing in a very steep dive. It
he's-
will be
he's
attacked
going
by.
low.
He'll be attacked by NTR. What is that?
Enemy.
No, yeah. Apart from this.
What though? Definitely not friendly.
No, it doesn't have a label. That's a big sign.
Get off it.
He's dead.
Ah,
I stole it. No.
no!
Why is Italian? Why am I shooting Italian planes? I'm also leaking.
Why
I
am
got a land. I'm also leaking. I got a land.
I don't have any leaks.
Ah, for cannons, Nix is telling me air targets are more explosive. But now I'm using all stealth on mine. For the Reggiana I can use stealth because I fire short range in any case and stealth is good enough. Earlier with the Maki I didn't like stealth that much. I prefer actually to go for the
What's this
tracer.
guy smoking? Is that you?
Possibly. I'm leaking. I'm landing in fact.
Left turn.
Yeah. I'm
Or
landing
approach.
now. Yeah. Because I'm leaking I get a repair since we're still above the airfield.
I was hoping you're an enemy.
No,
I was
no.
like, well, he's damaged. He's going low.
Going low above our base. How he dares being damaged to go above our base and slowing down for the runway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think these are the base defenders up high.
Yeah, don't go back to them. It's not worth it. One of the bases is flashing in the south though. Huh? I would go there if I were in the air. I'll soon rejoin you in any case as soon as I repair.
But you know the RE 2002. No, not the the MC 2002, which you've got in BOS. That it's got like a fairly unusual design.
It
'Cause
does.
what they did with it to counteract the torque.
Ah,
they
the
actually
wings. Yeah, no, I know
made
about.
one of the wings shorter.
I never know anything about it before playing the game. It's very strange as a solution. Never thought
It
it.
apparently makes it a bit hard to handle because the stall characteristics change at different speeds.
Ah, I see.
So it's not. I don't think it was a great design, to be honest. It's an interesting idea, but it makes the plane. I think in practice, it makes the plane a bit harder to handle.
In fact, I don't think anyone ever copied that design. It was only
No, I don't.
for a time use. The Reggiane doesn't have it, I think. The wings of the Reggiane seem as fairly standard design.
You know, I was reading something the other day, like literally yesterday, about a pre-war Italian design, like a biplane. Well, I say biplane, but it had 9 wings.
9? No,
Yeah,
never
it's-
heard of it. That's
yeah, like-
interesting. That's the
had like-
kind of planes that I speak about on my blog. I gotta look into it.
It was Italian though. I'll try and find the make and model. It was.
I can
some
easily find it through
some
Google.
crazy
I
Italian
don't think there's
pre-war thing.
many. I don't think there's many planes with 9 wings. And it actually flew. It was flyable.
Yeah. Not sure what it was used for.
Probably just a proof of concept.
I know that in the 20s there were like loads of crazy designs that were tried. You know,
Ah, yes.
just before
The
the modern
20s were a crazy time in Italy. They were looking towards the future. You can, if you read the literature from that time, it's all written by crazy people. It's completely ununderstandable. Like we have, there's an entire type of poetry which is called futurismo from the Italian 20s,
Yeah.
where basically they sung the praises of machines. But all sorts of machines. Like I remember studying at school this poem. Maybe I wouldn't even call it a poem about a roadside fountain that splattered water, and the poem is like splash, 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 like this for 1,000 lines, and that was the kind of thing that went for poem in that time. Some of these sound pretty epic actually. When they speak about planes and cars, that's pretty cool. But in any case, yeah, Italy in the 20s was a strange place.
Most of Europe did that kind of thing. There were lots of sort of surrealist or futurist novelists at the time. You know.
Yes, it was a pure. What's the name of it? The Liberty. After the Liberty.
Well, wasn't Dali? Dali was Spanish, wasn't he? Salvador Dali.
Yes, I think.
Not Italian. He was like Spanish or Mexican.
No,
or
but he
something.
lived in Italy for a time. I think he was.
Yeah.
He was together with a famous Italian actress. He lived in Italy for a time.
He eventually ended up in America, I think.
I think so, but I don't know much about it. It's an interesting period of study. Who knows what's gonna happen with the new 20s now? I think we're going to have we're going to have a lot of ideology changes with this virus thing. It's shown a lot of things already. How vulnerable are the safeties that we give for granted.
Yeah, it'll change society definitely.
It will. It's already changed it in Italy. It's removed any sense of safety that we used to have. Like now, it was unthinkable that something like World War II could happen again, but it could even not be war and still just as bad. And now it's very
It could
happen.
cause a war. It could cause a war.
It could also cause a war. Already I was reading with a certain sense of dread, a thread on Reddit, no, about the fact that some hospital face masks were stopped at the customs in, I think, Eastern Europe. They were supposed to go to our hospitals. And there were people seriously clamoring for sending our military planes over the skies of Eastern Europe to show our might, so they might send back. And they were clamoring for war, essentially, over face masks.
Yeah.
War for humanitarian reasons.
People getting a bit insane.
People are getting insane. People are getting completely insane. I told you, the other day, the bank was opening 5 minutes late. One girl was screaming for a bomb. And she was saying, "There's a bomb! Really, serious, completely serious. They were saying, there's a bomb in the bank to make the police come sooner, no?" And the police actually came.
And it's like, that's not going to make them open the bank. So it's not going to...
No, that's not going to happen. In fact, and the one inside the bank was looking at me completely scared by telling me, "I'm not letting you in. Even if you don't need the cash, you don't even think about it." Oh shit, I crashed into something.
I've got a bomber here, but...
I crashed into the bomber. It took off a piece of my wing, so now I have a very difficult situation. I will try to land with alpha wing. We'll see if I can manage. I didn't even destroy the bomber out of this, so that's even more annoying. The base is close. I might even manage, I don't know. I'm pushing the rudder to one side. Missing half of the right wing.
Oh, got him. He's on fire.
Nice, so you avenge me right now.
He's damaged me though. He's going down.
I'm trying to return to base, Nix. I might manage, because the base is so close.
He's on fire, but he's... Oh, there we go.
Oh, someone is attacking me. It's not like I can do that.
My engine is damaged. Oh, man.
You tell me. They're gonna kill me. I'm trying to...
shit. I'm crashing. Oh, god damn it.
I'm gonna die. It's too bad because I could return to base, but someone is
I went
attacking.
into a spin. Oh, that's annoying.
Okay, I got killed by a yak too. Too bad. I could have landed. He's lacking a piece of a wing too. He's the guy that I broke his wing, but unfortunately his plane flew better than mine with alpha wing. What the fuck? Now I'll take off immediately and try to kill him. I might manage. I can't manage with the Reggiano. It's a pretty...
There's like bombers there.
It's a pretty light plane. I might scramble his ass to hell and back. Let me try. I see him. He's smoking badly. And he's still missing half of a wing. Okay, taking off as quickly as possible and turning right into him. I hope I don't regret it. But he's heavily damaged, missing a piece of a wing. I made sure of that. Let me see what I can do with this guy. At least I hope it's him I'm looking at, but I think so. The objective is still up, by the way, and he's trying to capture.
Yeah, I'm going to A.
Me too, right in it. Yak 2 kebab, says Nix. Why do you calling it kebab?
Because it was on fire? I don't know.
Ah, probably.
Because it was smoky. Is that what you mean, Nix? Possibly,
I don't know. I remember when the modern tank game came out, the one Armored Warfare, I think it was named, very similar to World of Tanks, but with modern tanks. Everyone was screaming. There was like a meme going around. Every battle, everyone was screaming, "Remove kebab, remove kebab." I think it was meant to refer to the Middle Eastern troops. I'm not sure.
I tell you what I'd like to play. There's a game that's like a submarine game. Is it like Silent Waters?
Ah, that was cool. I played it for a time. That was cool. A cool game. I remember.
It's like a strategy game, I think.
Actually, it simulates the weapon platform. It's pretty realistic in the way it depicts the submarines. Probably not 100%, but still. There was that series also of modern sub scenes. What was the name? 688, I think.
Yeah, 686 attack sub, I think.
And then they made a more modern version with also the Russian sims, the Russian subs.
That's a point. There's a VR submarine game called.
I know about it, but we will have a player base of 3 people, I suspect.
It's called like Ironclad or something.
I know it interests me greatly, but I suspect I would be able to play it only by myself because who the heck would be playing that?
I would buy that.
Yeah, we could play together, but we could play. I don't know, do one sub against the other.
It looked really good because you have to like go from room to room and like turn the knobs and like.
Yeah, it will be an interesting experience, 100%. But I've been disappointed by multiplayer games online before because you have no one to play with.
Well, if it's cheap, we can buy it, I guess. If it
could be
on sale, you know.
It could be.
I reckon Steam's gonna have a big like fucking coronavirus sale. You know?
They should have already. Why the heck are they not doing? It's like they don't care about people's safety. Do you want me go out? If you don't give me enough gains, I might go jogging in the street right now.
You don't want to do that.
No, absolutely. They will shoot you. They will shoot you on sight right now. They made new laws even stricter than before. They're reducing further the supermarket opening times because apparently that's supposed to help things. I don't know how. You basically create more people lining up in front of the supermarket for a shorter time, but apparently that's preferable for some reason.
We're not at that point yet here, but I get the feeling things are shutting down slowly here. You know.
The 2 days that I came late, that I couldn't start the stream at the usual time in the morning. One was for the bank and the other for the supermarket. Anything you do, you have to go 1 hour earlier, basically, right now,
Sucks,
in Italy. Because you have the maximum of 5 people inside the venue for anything. Yeah. So it makes the waiting times terrible. Oh shit, I'm under attack. Okay.
I'm alright for a week or two. I got like enough food for a couple of weeks, I think. So
it will be longer. I
won't have to go out for a while, but
it was the same for me in the beginning. But then I had to go. It's the second time that I go buy stuff.
I'm a bit nervous about what next time I have to go out. You know, it's gonna be worse by then.
It's worse every day. Here it's getting worse and worse.
That's what it's gonna be like here, I reckon.
From what I've read, you're on the same curve in your country, actually, that Italy has experienced. Like, day by day, same number of deaths. It's that similar.
Did I get that kill?
I don't know. Did I or did you?
I shot at him. I saw you shooting him, but I think
I shot him, but I didn't get the kill. Well, that was going down, certainly.
I think I might have stolen the kill from him.
It's okay, okay. It's okay. No, I got it, actually. Yeah,
you got it.
I got it. Maybe you have the assist. I think so.
I saw
you
him
have one assist.
And I shot at him.
And now I gotta go and repair again, because, yes, I'm leaking fuel and water.
What?
At least we killed the bomber. Well, I guess the battery is on top of the base. You're going to resupply at every occasion.
It's alright. Come here and I'll shoot you down.
No, I'd rather go the other way. I think I'll go to the base. They're waiting for me there.
I think there's an enemy here.
Yeah, it is, probably. There will be, because we're still not winning the objective, even though it's close to the base. They're coming pretty hard for it. It's a pretty cool map, by the way. We're having a nice match. It's much unlike the other. The other one was boring. This is good. Yeah, right, Nix. He's enjoying it too.
Something on my tail.
I cannot help. I'm leaking everything. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, I know.
Possibly I could have helped you if I knew you was
fucking
already.
Plane.
It's possible that we have them on the other side, yeah. Japanese planes turn like crazy. They will always be on your 6. If you meet them, say out.
Oh shit! Oh no, I span and crashed.
You find C202. Consider picking the Reggiane against the Japanese. The Reggiane can turn with the 0, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's that good of a turn fighter.
What about the C200 though? That could be really difficult, isn't it?
The C200 is not a turn fighter, basically, from what I experienced. It turns like a BF, more or less. Better than the Mustang.
Oh, there's no ammunition options for this. Disappointing.
Because you haven't unlocked them yet. You unlock them while playing the plane. Nix is saying that if you shot me down, actually, you would have to pay for the repair. That's true. You do, huh? If you kill a friend in this game, it costs you a lot in terms of credits. Water tanks is the same. You pay for the repair.
Yesterday, there's some guy shot me down, like a friendly shot me down.
It happens in Sturmberg because EFF is so damn difficult.
No, no, in War Thunder.
In War Thunder or in Sturmberg?
In War Thunder, yeah.
Ah,
Some guy shot me down, so
sometimes they do it intentionally. Team killers are not unknown in this game.
I did. I waited for him to respawn and take off, and I shot him down immediately.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
I was just like,
You're getting money
dick.
for him shooting down you. You
Yeah.
get money. You don't care. Let him do it. If he enjoys it, you will enjoy the money. This guy is flying what I intended to fly today. The Swedish plane that I couldn't spawn. What the hell? Tomorrow I will have the Swedish plane of tier 3. If I play arcade mode today as well, I will have them. I'm not sure about the Half-Life Helix unlock. That is, if it's going to be tomorrow or the day after.
It says
Because-
tomorrow.
It says tomorrow, but Valve does everything at a certain time of the day.
It could be midnight tomorrow, as in like.
It could be. It depends. In
Next day.
fact, no. For such an expected game, you would expect it to be on midnight. But Valve doesn't do things that way usually. They go for everything about 5-6 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon in Italy, when they release something.
Valve is so anticipated. Like everything Valve does is so anticipated. They can do whatever they want. Like,
Yes, they call it the Valve time. No, they work on a different clock. Whatever they do is right for everyone. I don't know why. They've had some failures recently. Like that car game was abysmal from whatever the price model of
Card
it.
game.
They did a car game with the Artifact. It was called. You don't know anything about it. It was a big
No,
gaming news.
that.
Supposedly the Hearthstone killer with the characters from the MOBA. No, what's the name? Defense
Oh,
of
is
the
it-
Ancients.
Dota Artifact or something.
Yeah, and apparently it was so bad that they had like 5,000 players after 2 days. It was heavily anticipated. It was the stupidest thing because they expected people to pay for a card game when the most popular on the
Yeah.
market is completely free. It's like creating a Fortnite clone that you have to buy. What's the meaning of it? It's stupid.
So the other one is Hearthstone, isn't it? Warcraft
Hearthstone. It was at the time. It was still very popular. Now I don't think it is anymore. In any way,
So
I completely dropped it from a day to the next. I loved the game, and at a certain point I hated it because they changed it very ever so slightly. Each day it got a bit worse to the point where it was unplayable unless you spent money in
I
it.
can't stand fucking card games.
It's good if you play it in a certain way. It's very competitive. But it's not based only on skill. It's actually mostly based on luck because it's still a card game.
Yeah,
But
I
there
could
is
never
some
be bothered with those
strategy
games.
to it. I don't know. Winning against people that are employing. It's like the fighting games. It's enjoyable if you get into the competitive aspect of it. And basically, when it's 1 versus 1, you cannot avoid getting into the competitive aspect. Yeah, Nix, I'm grinding the Swedish shards because I play the arcade mode while watching TV. It's the same way I ground everything in this game originally. Why am I being attacked by a friend?
Oh,
Ah,
it's
no,
fine.
actually, there's a Japanese
you're
here.
Japanese plane behind you.
Wow, you tell me like that. Okay, now I'm behind him. What's that, an
Shit.
Hayabusa? You
Something
see,
like
you can easily outrun the Japanese with the Reggiani, and the Reggiani is that good. It's amazing. I don't know if it's realistic, but if it's
Hit him.
realistic, it would have been an amazing plane at the time. I hit him as well.
Oh, come on.
They catch fire extremely easily. They're basically paper made. Very rickety planes. He's dead, basically. I'm letting him bomb.
Papier-mâché.
Yeah, dead. They
You
just
stole
need
my
a...
kill again.
Well, it's debatable. I mean, he was attacking me. It was self-defense.
Okay, so A's gone off, but the airfield's under attack. That's probably because of that guy that was just here.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't care much for it. Destroy the enemy surveillance in F2. F2.
Yeah, let's go there. It's just below us.
Yeah, it would be above, I guess, because
South.
normally they're high. They're high.
But that square is just south, so if we go south and start climbing, we might find it.
I don't know. Normally they're very up high. It's strange for a surveillance plane to be above the base. Actually, I never experienced it. F2, right on top of the base. I think I see it. Possible. Ah no, it's
Yeah,
this one with
very
the
high.
He's doing the control. Okay, the one with the big control, I
The
guess.
one that's climbing really
Ah.
hard.
Yeah, watch out because it will be a multi-engine plane with a rear turret. It's going to respond to fire.
I don't think it's the one contracting because he's like maneuvering a lot. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it's that. It's that. The one I'm looking at is him. It's.
There's another one higher than him though.
I'm looking at the one very high. I don't know if you're looking at the same one. I'm
Right, they
pointing
got-
basically east from where I just called my location.
Yeah, the highest one just started contracting.
And in fact, I'm correct because now it's in F3. I'm following the right thing. Well, I might as well go and try to catch him. I'm not that far. But also we have the air objective up.
Like
in the
engines are-
north. Mine as well. This is a very overheating plane, even at this temperature.
Not sure I'll be able to catch up with it because I need to have 100% engine to catch up with it. Really.
I don't know. It's fast. Yeah. They're pretty difficult to take out. And it's not an easy thing to destroy. It's usually a strong turreted plane. It's going to gunship you to hell. You have to approach with a certain care. And also they're fast and high, which doesn't help because you come to them low speed.
I think the turrets are rather overpowered compared to reality in this game. To be honest.
But also in Sturmovik, I think. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
In general.
It's just that gunners are in reality are a lot less accurate than this.
Yeah, if you can imagine a real person in that position trying to shoot something down, it wouldn't
And
be
also, most of them use MGs, which don't really do a lot of damage.
true. That's absolutely true. I'm
Like
coming to this guy.
MGs, you can pepper someone, and unless you hit like a fuel tank or something, then
I've
it's not-
experienced that many times in Sturmovik, yes.
But in Sturmovik, in this game, like a couple of hits and you're on fire. So like, that's not really.
Depends on the plane also. The American planes can take more punishing. Okay, I'm coming at it, but I'm a bit, like I said, low and slow, which is a bad way to intercept that kind of plane. I'll try to pass him and maybe position myself above. Oh shit, he can hit me all the way here. And now he damaged my engine, actually. It's yellow.
Are you off to the left of it?
Yes. I'm trying to climb above and maybe dive for it, but now my engine is yellow. He managed to hit me much farther than I expect. Like I said, it's dangerous. Easy to shoot this down. You can actually die trying to. Okay, I'm slowly gaining. Luckily the engine is not leaking anything, just yellow. And here it overheats much less, so I'm able to actually push it further. Don't force your climb, LOL, says Nix. 93%. Ah, you mean engine power? Okay, now I'm leaking oil. Well, I might as well go and try.
He means set it. to
No,
93%.
don't. I think so. Don't glitch me out now. Okay. I'm trying to
It's taking
shoot
too long, to
a
be honest.
certain distance. Yeah, probably not worth it. But at this point. You fucking die.
So
Okay.
you got down. Oh wow.
Yeah. I think it's that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
Well, I set enough fire to it. Now I have to land or try to. But I'm so high, it won't be difficult. So you see, Nix, I got it. I might have done the climb a bit half-assedly, but still the actual shooting was good. Using stealth ammo is very good for destroying these heavily armored targets, because stealth ammo, like Nix was saying earlier, removes all the bad things. You only have good ammunition. In universal ammo, you have several types of ammo altogether that you're shooting in the belts. This is more damaging, actually. The concept of ammo and how the different types interact with one another is pretty cool in this game. Stormwake doesn't have it. It's just one type of ammo
It
for
does.
each.
No, it does. There are different types of ammo.
There are, you're right now that
Yeah.
you're telling me about it, but you don't really select them outright, or do you? In some planes, man.
Usually you select loadouts, and that gives you different types of ammo.
I gotta look into it then. Now that you mention it, yeah, you're right, it does have it.
Most planes you can get like additional MGs or cannons on them. And there are a few different types of ammo.
Nix is telling me about the bomber's gun as being too strong. He says it's a game balance thing, basically, because they were kill feeder, they were too easy to kill, so they made a change at one point of the game's history. Makes sense, indeed. Same thing with the base anti-air, I guess, because yesterday we tried together what it meant to be on a base with no anti-air. Basically, you're dead meat in this game. You cannot survive even 1 second.
I'm going to A because I'm high enough I can just dive towards it and get there.
I'm returning to base for two
Reasonable
reasons.
time.
The first is that the engine is damaged, and also I'm about out of time. I'm ending the stream soon. I land.
Yeah, it's pretty close to 10. Yeah.
Try to cap it. After these matches that we've had, you will be able to breach into the higher tier planes of rank 2, possibly even rank 3. Once you have rank 3, we could try to play. I will be using the Italian twin tail thing. That's pretty cool. The
Not
twin.
going to be doing that this morning though. I mean, I've got to put these knobs on the joystick
No, I know. This afternoon we play Sturmovik, I guess. No, you were agreeing to that.
because of like overspray. I'm going to have to file down like where it fits onto the rod. If you see what I mean, because
Yeah, no, it's
there's a bit
pretty.
too much paint. So
pretty
it'll take me
complex.
it'll take me a little bit of time to get it
You will play with Sturmwick this afternoon, same time.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm over the A point now. It didn't take long to get there.
Good. You're capturing, it seems. You can know the state of the point at any time. The base is under attack. By looking, if you go, you look upwards, below the bars, you have a small circle, and that tells you the state of capture and how far we are. If you don't see the ball progressing, it means you have enemies in the capture zone. Watch out. And Nix is telling me about the thing with the bomb. The player fought for flying bombers solo and never flew in safety of numbers. Yeah. We seen the safety of numbers yesterday with the Ju-88.
In reality, they should fly in formations.
You would have more than two, but even with two, we were pretty difficult to approach for these fighters. Unfortunately, they got lucky with you, but the guy that shot you down got shot down by my gunner. And yeah, if we had three bombers, the third one would have saved me, or maybe save us both.
In reality, they would fly in formations of like 5 or more. So you can imagine
it's the only way. No, but you will never have that in a game, if not seldom. It's the same thing with the World of Tanks artillery. It doesn't work like real artillery. It's more like a sniper artillery, which is completely unrealistic. You will never have a real battle.
Did I get that?
Nix says that he wants to fly the B-25S with us. We can't wait for the occasion too.
I was shooting down this bomber and he despawned.
That sucks. It can happen. Some player connected to the other team, I guess. Well, 5 kills is not bad. I got to 5 kills.
I think the player might have just like pressed exit or something.
It wouldn't work like that. If the player disconnected, you would still get the kill. He would parachute out and you would get the kill. So it was an AI and someone disconnected. No, I mean someone connected and he despawned. That's the stupidest thing, but unfortunately it works like that.
It was starting to smoke, and I was getting on top of it. It was like.
Nix, we should do one where both you and our other bomber player, John, plays with the Mi-264, and maybe we two can be the Italian escort. That could be cool. The Italian little friends. Well, like I said, I'm leaving. I left the match already because I'm out of time. Let me see. Well, I'm earning well in terms of credits. Let me see the Swedish situation.
Yeah, I'm going to go and land. Maybe they'll give me a bonus.
Look at this. I have 49 points of XP until I can go to Swedish rank 3. That's all I miss. And then after that, I will have the cool twin tail, which is the one that made me play the Swedish 3 because it looks so strange. It looks so particular. I can't wait to fly this thing.
Well, just play an arcade mode battle and you'll get that.
Yes, I will. I'm going to grind in arcade battle probably, even between the now and the Sturmo X session.
Yeah.
But if you see me online, I won't have neither microphone nor audio. I will be on my laptop in another room of the house, just grinding away while I watch television. Yeah. Different type of experience, really. And so, see you later. I
might try arcade battle at some point today if I've got time.
It's useful for grind, that's certain. Yeah. I find it fun myself. It's a different game, much simpler, but it's fun.
Okay, well, I'll see you,
later.
In like 5 hours for stuff.
Right, like yesterday. Bye-bye. It will be fun for sure.
See you later.
See you later. And to everyone watching, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for your comment, Nix. As always, you were very much on point. In about 5 hours, I'll be playing Sturmoik with James. And tomorrow morning, we're switching to something different. Possibly even non-VR games. We'll discover it tomorrow. See you either this afternoon or then. Ciao, ciao.